Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for the Bravo Breakdown with Joleen. That's me, stand-up comedian Joleen Lunzer, and Bravo superfan here to break down the latest episode of Vanderpump Rules season, what is it, season 10, episode 13, Lady in the Glamp. But it should be called the Stupid Demon episode, or I'm gonna dip. We gotta dip. We are going to break it down in the way we do, an entertaining, comedic way that is very opinionated and definitely biased to the people on the show that I like. So if you like somebody else, feel free to sound off in the comments or the live chat. I love to hear from you guys, but also we're all allowed to have our own opinions unless your opinion is wrong. And then we might have to block you. No, we won't block you. Well, I can't guarantee that. But we're going to have some fun tonight getting through this crazy episode of Vanderpump Rules that aired last night. We're also going to talk about Kristen Doute's return to the clubhouse for Watch What Happens Live, which also happened last night, and she did her first shot ski. She looked amazing. So we have so much to talk about. One second, guys. Sorry. I just had dinner, and I think I might have chicken finger in my tooth. Okay, that's disgusting. So hopefully you're not too disgusting to continue watching this video. All right, please smash that like. Last video I posted, I think you guys, we got like 1,400 likes, which is amazing. Keep liking the video. It helps me so much in the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe if you want to support me further. You can do what Evelyn did here. Evelyn sent a super chat. Thank you so much. Congratulations on 30K, Joleen. You guys, we did it. Our goal for 2023 was to hit 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we are now, let's look at exactly where we're at right this second. As we're live, we are at 30,345 subscribers. So our next goal is 40,000. So subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Evelyn, for the super chat. Feel free to send a super chat if you like, or join YouTube membership or Patreon. Okay, we gotta get into it. We gotta get into it. Yes, let's get to 50K. Oh my gosh, if I get to 100K, I know that's like a lot away. They give you a plaque. I don't know what else you get, but you get a plaque. So I'm just excited for 30K. I didn't know if we could do it. No, I knew we could do it. You guys have been amazing and awesome, and I appreciate you. We have so much to talk about. So much. Thank you, guys. You guys are so sweet. Appreciate all of you. Yes, witness. Evelyn, I hope so. I hope so. I know okay, so this episode of Vanderpump Rules, TMC, thank you so much. TMCB girl, 007, thank you so much. I kind of don't want this season to end because as much as it's so cringy now, knowing what we know about the Scandoval of it all, it still is very entertaining in a sick, twisted reality TV way. And knowing that we only have a couple episodes left, I'm excited to finally get into what we know now, because I would hate to have to watch this season without the knowledge of Scandoval, and that it came out too late, where they couldn't, or I should say with the knowledge of Scandoval, but it came out too late. So I'd have to watch the whole season with the Toms trying to push forth this narrative to take down Ariana, because it is 100% the truth, kind of. I mean, everything I say is based on opinion and commentary and comedy and satire, but I do believe that the Toms' goal this season was to erase Katie Maloney and Ariana Madix from the show and go forward with Rachel Raquel and possibly bring on that hairdresser lady that allegedly Tom Schwartz is dating. The one who looks like a skater girl. I'm with the skater girl. I'll see you later, girl. So I think that was their plan, because we can see from the editing before these scenes after Scandoval was revealed, thank you, Hype Man Husband, that they were trying to paint a picture of Katie being this B-I-T-C-H. We're not going to swear early on in the stream, otherwise they'll demonetize me. So B-I-T-C-H for all the good spellers, and who was so unreasonable. How dare she not let Tom Schwartz make out with Rachel Raquel, a girl she was trying to include in the group because all of her friends were friends with her. How dare Katie Maloney have one request, and that is, please don't bang-a-rang-a-rang anyone in the friend group or who we work with. You know, it was cute in our 20s, I guess, but now we're all 40 or 57 and a quarter, like Tom Sandy Butt. And it's not cute anymore. And Schwartz and Tom Sandoval were like, oh, what a bitch. Can't believe it. Oops, I just swore. That's okay. We're 5 minutes in. That's pretty good. Oh, God, she's the worst. And then with Ariana, Tom Sandy Butt was trying to push forth this narrative that she didn't support him. She was horrible. She was cold. She thought he was stupid. Well, what if you are stupid, Tom? What if you are? Because you're acting pretty stupid. This whole episode was stupid. Okay? I'm all for calling grown men who are stupid. When they're being stupid to you, you can call them stupid. And Ariana didn't even call you stupid. And I would have called you stupid. I've called you stupid lots of times because you're acting like a stupid head. The stupidest piece of stupid that ever stupided. And that is Tom Sandy Butt. So I'm so glad that editing or that production was able to get these additional scenes and that they were able to edit them so that we can now see just how manipulative the Toms are. So we can see just what a stronghold Tom and Tom, Sharts and Skeezies, had over the show for so long. So I question now, like, how much of this show was influenced by the Toms. And I really like that what Scandoval has done, if anything, it has empowered the women and also empowered the editors to really focus on the power of the women instead of kind of blaming them, as we've seen throughout the seasons, and making them seem like, you know, these evil women who are trying to hold down the 70-year-old Toms from getting drunk and making out with random chicks and not following through on promises and not proposing to people with rings on strings. You know, that they were actually just trying to be heard in a lot of ways and looking for partners in their relationships and not little boys. So if anything, I think it has shown us just how, like, I think the culture of the show and maybe in general has kind of shifted away from this weird, you know, patriarchal, you know, misogynism that we've seen has led the way previously on Vanderpump Rules, if that makes any sense to you guys. Yes, don't forget to like the video. So, you know what? The patriarchy on the show has reigned supreme. You cannot blame women for this. These two men had it made in the shade. They were the definition of lazy dude privilege, of just showing up with a penis and becoming the stars of the show. And they dropped the bag themselves. All they had to do, I mean, they've even cheated before and they still were okay. We had Miami Girl. We're like, maybe that did happen, but also they've painted the picture that Kristen Doty's a crazy bee. So whatever. We've had Tom Schwartz admitting on camera, admitting on the show that he has made out with random women here, there, everywhere, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. He made out with her too, you know? So they've gotten away with so much, but they kept pushing it because that's what happens when you give problematic men power. You know, guys out there who are not problematic would be like, I wouldn't do that. But these dudes, they were problematic, and then they were rewarded for that, which just allowed their egos to grow. And then they began to think, like Tom Sandy Butt, that they could get away with anything. Guess what, Tom Sandy Butt? You're not that smart. Anybody who uses like every other word in a sentence at 67 years old, no. You got a lot of grace, sir. You got a lot of grace. You got all the grace. You got grace under fire, under herpes, under chlamydia. You got all the grace. You don't get it anymore. You dropped the bag that bad. You were number one. We're number one. Can't be number two. But now we just realized you're a bunch of number twosies. So, oh gosh. Visible thongs are so right. 1990s. We have Rachel. We got to get into so much tonight that I'm excited. I got some. This episode was so meaty, but also so, there's not a better word I can use other than like triggering, that I didn't take notes. And normally I've been taking notes with these episodes because I want to remember all the scenes. But this one I watched twice and I was just like, it was like a horror show. Remember when Bethany Frankel told Ramona Singer, you got chicken in your purse, Pinot Grigio between your legs. I don't know if that's what she said, but something like that. You're a horror show. That's what this felt like. It felt like a damn horror show. Okay. Why does Lala have an office? Because she's a business. She got a business. She got a business. She records her podcast there as well. And I listened to her podcast this week as well. Let me just pull up what everybody's talking about, which is the thong song. Okay. Because I went to spring break on Jamaica, or I went to spring break in Jamaica and on Jamaica. I did it on Jamaica for sure. In 1999 and 2000, when the thong song was all over the place. Okay. And Rachel Raquel's outfit in this episode was like spring break 2000. It was like, I like it when the beat goes. Baby, make it booty go. Oh, that tong, 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 tong. She had the most interesting outfit. We're just going to have some fun. This beat is sick. And we're going to jump all around this disco stick of an episode. And how come when I send myself this picture, it just doesn't go to like the first picture in my album? I have to like find it. And I have so many screenshots because I get really excited while watching this show. But she basically had a 50 Shades of I'll Steal Your Living Lover outfit on. I don't know why, just because Rachel Raquel is having sex with Tom Sandybutt, that she has to dress like someone who just got fired from Hot Topic. And I don't understand why he has to either. You know, it's like a cross between Twilight and the Hot Topic stockroom. It just doesn't make any sense because we all remember that at the reunion, this was them. And then here, that thong, 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 thong. I mean, that was a banger. Was Rachel Raquel born for that? She had to have been. Oh, yeah, she was. Okay, so here they are at the reunion. But then, let's pull up what she wore. So here, they're just like, God, the sun is so powerful. Cigarettes are so good. And then, in this episode, what is this, you guys? What is going on? What is happening? Why? And also yeast infections. And also what? You know, there's this thing, and you know, this is also a learning show. I like to treat this, you know, my lives as not only entertaining and very ADD, but also educational. Ladies, you have to let your baby door and your baby back door breathe. Okay? You have to let them all breathe. We've talked before about Rachel Raquel's swimsuits looking like they were going to give her a yeaster for Easter, you know, just cutting right up through the labia. And then we see this, and this can't be comfortable. This has to be so far up your anus that you can't even dig it out. At this point, this thong is wearing her. This thong has become her skin. Okay, my mom is in the chat. This is my mom. Everyone say hi to Nana. Nana said, this look is horrid. And if Nana says that, that means a lot. Nana loves Kohl's, and this definitely was not bought at Kohl's. This is not from the Lauren Conrad collection. This isn't Daisy Fuentes. This isn't Apartment 9. This is Studio Apartment North Hollywood. This is very bad. Okay? You definitely, I mean, this is seeing sides of your body, that have never been seen before. I know for me, I've gotten a colonoscopy. This looks like a walk-in colonoscopy. And I'm not here for it. And I don't know who would be, except for Rachel Raquel, which just, I think, is proving to me that she is definitely not human, allegedly. Allegedly, she is not from this world. Because I don't know any other woman who I've ever been aware of or come in contact with who would wear a tong to tong 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 this high, this tight, and this up north. Okay, in the Midwest, when we go out of town, whether it's north or south, we say we're going up north. And this thong is going up north. This thong is in Canada. It's in Canada. Okay, it's in Ontario. It's hanging out with bears. It is just, what's the northest part? Is that a word, northest? What's the most northern part of Canada? Okay. It's so high. It is so high. Shoe fly, it's too high. It's getting me high. Because I got high. It's so high. It's the new tramp stamp. It has to be at this point. What is this? And then she has like cargo pants on, which my dad would approve of, but also that's gross. And then we have kind of like a see-through fishnet thing going on. And then Tom Schwartz was again rewarded and complimented for simply showering and putting on something that didn't look like, a sad divorced dad's weekend off outfit. It wasn't that impressive, guys. It was a button-up shirt and a suit coat. And he might have put a little gel in his hair. So, oh my goodness. You really give these people a lot of credit, I'm sure. I think Tom is so into fashion because we know he's killing it with his fashion lately. He is wearing flare jeans and platform Converse. Okay. He thinks he's an extra in Dazed and Confused. Sir, you need talent to do that. Okay. Tom, yeah, he can make her. I was making bracelets again today for my little niece for her school. She has to give a presentation. She's 8 in second grade. She's in third grade. And they have to give a presentation and show the class, teach them how to do something they're good at. And I always make bracelets with my niece and nephew when they come visit me every summer. And so she was going to show them, but I made 26 bracelets today to send out for her to give to her classmates and her teacher. I gave her teacher a couple options depending on what she likes. It didn't look anything like this. It was nothing Hot Topic-y. Shout out to Hot Topic. I feel like they should sponsor this YouTube channel. And then I talked to my niece tonight. And I said, hi, Lucy. And she said, oh, hi. I'm not going to do the bracelet thing anymore. Now me and my friends are going to do cartwheels. So I said, oh, I made 26 bracelets today for your class and your teacher. I made ones that were sporty. I made ones that were spice. I made ones that were sporty spice. And I had my husband rush to the post office to ship them out. And she goes, well, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'm like, oh, well, you have 26 child size and a couple adult size bracelets coming to you. And she said, I will sell them. And that is when I knew she's definitely related to me. So she cared not that I spent my day making these bracelets. And she was like, well, I'll make money off them. I will sell them. So she's going to sell them. So shout out to Lucy. Nana says, not the bracelets. We've already talked about it. All right, we got to get into this episode. We are 18 minutes in, but we've talked a little bit, about the episode and the bracelets. All right, this episode was so cuckoo bananas. All right, so we come back, and this is going to be the big. Raquel is headed to a living animal farm or Animal Crossing game because, of course, Raquel still plays Animal Crossing, allegedly, on Tom's penis. Okay. So they're driving in the car. You have Raquel, you have Tom Sandy Butt, Tom Schwartz, and Ariana. Lisa calls, and Lisa's like, what are you doing, loves? Where are you going? And they say, oh, Lisa. Tom Sandy Butt answers while he's driving, which is always very safe to FaceTime and drive, a la Khloe Kardashian. And he's like, yeah, you should come, Lisa. We're going glamping. And Lisa's like, oh, darling, I don't glamp. I just fall asleep on Ken because he's always sleeping. When he's not delivering his lines, he's sleeping. And then Sandy Balls says, well, you can come and you can sleep in a bed with Ariana and I. And that is when you see Ariana go. She's got her cute bucket hat on, and she's like, so right there, Tom Sandy Butt, it was a creepy one. And I've talked about this before. I think the relationship that Schwartz and at times Tom Sandy Butt has with Lisa is inappropriate. Even some comments that Lisa makes, I'm like, you guys are business partners. I get it's like a reality show and stuff, but it's a little inappropriate, it's a little weird. And this was definitely a weird comment. I think if anything that awkwardness is usually withheld for Schwartz as he lusts after Lisa Vanderpump. You can't tell me that that is not Schwartz's inner fantasy is Lisa Vanderpump, you know, together forever in love, looking out at the horses at Villa Rosa, you know, where he just kisses because he doesn't do anything else, allegedly. So yeah, it was weird to hear Tom Sandy Butt. It's also like, Tom Sandy Butt, you are in a lot of hot water right now with your behavior, and you're making sexual innuendos to Lisa Vanderpump and sharing a bed with her, sharing a bed with you and your girlfriend who you are currently cheating on, but nobody knows yet. So the balls of this guy, remember, the gull and the balls is insane. So they get to the little thing and you have a guy come out and he's like, hey, my name is Roger and this is my partner Roger, my boyfriend Roger. I don't know what their names were, but I imagine they were both Roger, and they should have been because that's super cute. And they're like, here's all the animals. And Rachel's like, oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited. And all Rachel did, like Sam is saying, was cry. So this tells me lots of things about Rachel Raquel. This tells me that she's very unhinged, like you guys are saying. And she, you know, I don't know if it is like an inner guilt that's coming out in Rachel Raquel, because now we've seen her have multiple fits of crying this season, multiple panic attacks, like on the way back from the girls, where were they going? Or they're going from Vegas to Lake Tahoe, and she just was like having a panic attack. So a therapist once told me, you can push your feelings down, you can push, and pretend everything's fine, but your body will always react. And that tends to happen in like panic attacks. Some people get hives like me. One time I got a giant hive this big. So I was like, everything's fine. Ironically, it was when I was living in Scottsdale, Arizona with a cheater pumpkin eater guy who was gaslighting me constantly. And I'm like, it's all good. And I had a giant hive on my head. And I just thought I must be allergic to something. Turns out I'm allergic to liars. So this could be what's going on with Rachel Raquel, or maybe it's her constantly thinking about how she can't do pageants anymore. Because part of me thinks the only thing she's really sad about is the pageantry, is that she's aged out and she's built her whole life around these pageants, and now she can't do them. And so now she's like, I'm going to let it all go. And I've seen people let it all go before, but she has let it all go. So was the only thing holding Rachel in from like becoming a serial killer or cheater was the pageants? Because there's one thing about letting your hair down and being free, and there's another thing with blowing up your whole life. And that seems to be what Rachel Raquel is doing. She is just bombing her space. It's the one thing to be wild and make out with random guys. You're a single gal, but to only target the guys in the friend group who are either dating your friends or newly divorcing your friends in the friend group, that's different. I mean, she's, whew. And this nice girl persona, I have so many thoughts on this. Rachel Raquel is not a nice girl. People will look at a Katie Maloney and say she's a bitch because she's opinionated. And if she's upset, she'll say something. And I think as she's gotten older, she's gotten better about just straight up saying something rather than maybe, dancing around it. And not saying that Katie is perfect or handles her feelings perfectly. But a Rachel Raquel is actually the one you have to look out for, because someone who can play in your face like that and pretend to be nice and sweet and then behave this way is the real problem. And that begs the question of, is there a difference between being nice and being kind? And there is. Nice, I feel like, is something people want others to see them as. But kind is truly something you have to be. It is something you can't just say you are. It's in you. It's a kindness. Nice is like a facade. Nice is very surface level. But to be kind, because it's one thing to be like, okay, thank you. You have a good day too. I'm from Minnesota, the land of passive aggressive, the Minnesota nice, which I've heard Tom Schwartz now talk about. I pulled a clip, I think, off of Reddit, and he was talking when he was hanging out with Randall, of all people, old pickleball Big Ed's brother. And he said, "Oh, I'm Minnesota nice." And so, because if you didn't know, Tom Schwartz apparently is from Minnesota. Yay. But he spent most of his time in Florida, so I blame them. But he says, "Oh, I don't like gambling and taking money away from people. I feel bad. I'm Minnesota nice." Minnesota nice isn't even nice. It's passive aggressive. That's what we're known for that. I am so good at being passive aggressive. That's crazy. Like, I constantly have to check myself. Oh, that's passive aggressive. So there's a difference between kindness and niceness. In Minnesota, nice isn't really anything. It just means he's passive aggressive. And Tom Schwartz is passive aggressive to the T. Also, with the mismanagement of funds with Tom Schwartz and the money coming in, and him, telling us this season that basically he was like close to bankruptcy. I'm just so curious, like, then seeing that he was gambling with, pickleball Rand. Was he gambling more than we know? Because, let me just throw this out there. Remember, Tom Schwartz is the same guy who was making bets. He made a bet that he could beat Lisa at ping pong. Remember that? And then if he lost, he had to get a tattoo of Lisa on his butt. And he lost. So the guy likes to bet. So maybe there's more to that. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, maybe more came out about that. We're just speculating here, you guys. Okay, so glamping. I'm sorry, the glamping trip looked like hell on earth. I'm with Sheena on that one. I actually don't mind camping, but they basically stayed in these giant go-gurts. I think that's what they're called. And they had one for the men and one for the women. Because I was thinking, okay, they have two go-gurts, right? So it's these two glamping tents. And they have like two beds in one, two beds in the other. But you have Brock, Sheena, the two Toms, Ariana, Rachel. Is that it? I think that's it. And that's just not enough space for everyone. With couples, it's kind of weird. So I thought, oh no, please tell me that they are not going to let Raquel stay in the same go-gurt as them. All right? Yeah, hit that like, you guys. Let's get the likes up. Please, please, please. So that didn't happen. They had girls and boys. Blobbity, blue, blah, blah. Nobody cares. They fed the cute little animals pumpkins, and it was a very interesting scene of them having to smash the pumpkins, smashing pumpkins. We're dealing with two men going through midlife crises, mainly Tom Sandybutt, but also Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz, in a passive-aggressive way, is going through his own midlife crisis. And so, of course, they're going to make reference to an activity based off a popular 90s band. And as they're smashing these pumpkins, everyone smashes them except for Ariana, which is a little, unforeseen foreshadowing that maybe, she just doesn't fit into this circle anymore. She's truly not in it like the rest of them. And then Tom Sandy was, oh, anticlimactic. Like, that's so and Ariana, you can pick up a little tension. She's like, I'm not, sorry, I don't smash pumpkins on the regular. And then we have this dumb scene where they're trying to make Schwartz look cute, where it's like, you can go pee anywhere, Schwartz, because they have an outhouse and whatever. I mean, I think even the animals didn't want to go by Raquel because they were like, we don't trust her. I'm pretty sure I saw one of the pigs be like, don't let her touch me. She's got those filthy hands, those filthy friend man stealing hands. All right. So we fast forward to Lala and Jameson. And this is when editing decided they were going to have a fun time. And so Lala has now become our little narrator, where formerly that was Mr. Tom Sandybutt. He got to narrate a lot. Ariana narrated a lot. But now that he's made himself the enemy of the state of California and the state of the world, he's not doing that. I thought, let me know what you guys think in the chat, but I thought Lala did a fantastic job with narrating this whole scene. And this was a great job by the editors as well. So Jameson, she's like, Hey, Jameson, what's up? Lala from Utah. Lauren from Utah, what's going on? I'm just sitting here thinking about Tupac, about to sell these robes. They got a hood. Katie and the other girl are going to model them for me. I'm feeling pretty good. But you know what? I can't stand Scandoval. And she says that she found out that Rachel Raquel slept over at Tom Sandoval's while Ariana, again, she's out of town because she is mourning her grandmother. So Tom Sandy Butt loves to cheat on her when she's mourning. That just gives him extra boners. Extra. Read all about it. Tom's got a boner, and he's going to shout it out. And when she says that, James goes, how do you know that they hung out and slept over? And she goes, Katie told me. And James like, Katie knows? And she's like, yeah, Katie called me last night. And she told me she was trying sandwiches over at Lisa Vanderpump's house. So then they have this fun little editing moment with like a rewind. They're leaving the glamping trip and they go back in time where Katie in Paris, aka Katie Maloney, is making sandwiches at Villa Rosa with Lisa Vanderpump. And they're in her kitchen and they're cutting bread and Lisa's there. And then they have someone, I think, who works for Lisa who's also there and she's cutting the bread. And they're eating the sandwiches like, these are going to be great. Something about her, just promotion. In walks Ken. Ken looks lost. Ken is like, okay, I know I have one thing to do today. And he had to write it down. He wrote it down in his hand. He had his alarm go off from one of his long naps. And Ken, let me see if I have a picture of Ken we can pull up here. You guys, I have the cutest picture of Ken. Everybody hit the like for Ken. If not for me, for Ken, okay? Ken was really the tea spiller of this episode. If we're just going to be real, okay? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Ken stole the show. Where is my cute little Ken? Ken, come out, wherever you are. Okay, that's not Ken. We have so many sandy butts. Too much sandy butt. We need more Ken. Oh, maybe I didn't send this to myself. All right. Well, Ken comes in and he's looking so. Oh, you know what? I think it's in my Canva. So maybe I can just pull it up through that. If my albums aren't going to participate with me, well then Canva will help me. Shout out to Canva, who should definitely pay for my subscription. No, they shouldn't, but they could if they wanted to. All right. Where are you, little Ken? Ken, wake up. Oh, there he is. Oh, there's the little guy. Okay, Ken, come back, sir. Are you here? All right. Let me download Ken. I'm going to download you, Ken. Awesome. I'm just going to pull this from here because nothing. Okay, so here's Ken. Look at Ken. Look at Ken, you guys. Shout out to Ken. Little baby Ken. So Ken comes in and he's like, Ken's so cute. He's got the little waddle. Can you believe? Hi, Lisa. Can you believe Tom Sandoval slept over? Wait, no. Can you? Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, it's kicking in. Can you believe Rachel Raquel slept over at Tom Sandoval's house while Ariana's out of town because of the loss of her grandmother? Oh, I can't believe it. They went in the hot tub with Tom Schwartz. Okay, bye. And then he walked away. And I was like, oh my God, Ken, stop. And Katie goes, what? Ken, huh? Are you still Ken? How do you know this? And she's like, well, I told him. And Katie in Paris is like, well, how do you know? How do you and old hip check Ken know? Ken and his little hips are like, see you later. My job here is done. I'll be back next season. Ken's going to go buy a new fedora, cash his check. He's like, this is what I'm doing. So Ken walks out. Katie's like, how did you know, Lisa? And Lisa goes, oh, well, funny you ask, but Rachel Raquel came into work. We were trying more food because that's what we do. We just try all the food, okay? We were over at Sir trying the food, and Rachel Raquel shows up an hour and a half late. And I'm sitting there with the other owner lady, the other owner guy, and Charlie Burnett. And then Rachel comes in and she goes, sorry. Hi. And Lisa's like, Kitten, what is wrong? Why are you late? Sorry, I'm late. Well, why are you late? Sit down. Tell us what happened. Well, okay. Hi. Did I already say hi? Hi. I'm sorry I'm late. Tell me why you're late. Sit down, just sit down. You're wasting my time. I only have so much time on this earth. Come on, get with it. I know it's 4 p.m., but I overslept. I'm overslept. And Lisa's like, overslept? I haven't overslept one day in my life since I was 21. I've either been woken up by Ken's boner or having to pay some kind of bills. Okay? So what are you talking about? I stayed up late. After the beach, we went back to Tom Sandoval's house and we went in the hot tub. And then Tom Schwartz was there as a buffer. And it was just like, I don't know. I was just like, I just got tired and I fell asleep on his penis. I mean, on his couch. I get those two words mixed up because they're like close in syllables. I told you guys last time Tom is teaching me about syllables. How many I sound out the word like cow ouch. That's 3 syllables. Okay. And Lisa's like, oh no, not another one. You slept over at Tom Sandybad's house. Yeah, but nothing happened except penetration. I gotta ask my mom if that's a bad thing. She never told me. She's like, oh no, you can't do that. And then my favorite part is Charlie goes, just with the two, you were just with the 2 Toms, like just you and the Tom. She goes, oh, I mean, Charlie right then was like, oh no. Charlie is thinking, oh my God, I hitched my ride, or however you say, whatever that saying goes. I hitched myself on the wrong giraffe woman, because we know she'll call Rachel Raquel out for her problematic behavior. But she's like, Rachel, we just had a talk in the park when we were allegedly doing your Hinge profile. And I told you, like, this isn't a good look. Hello? And Charlie goes, oh, I loved it. That's all she needed to say to tell us everything we needed to know. That everything Rachel should know is that everything you're doing and saying is 100% wrong. Rachel's like, but we didn't really do anything. It's bad, I know, but I aged out of pageants. So I've just been, it's like I want to help children. Like I said I was going to as an occupational therapist. But then I found out that that's like hard. And what I'm good at is walking down the runway and then pretending to be surfing. That's what I like. I didn't know that you had to like be by children. It just sounded nice when the people would ask me. I forgot where I am. I'm so sorry. Is this sir? Okay, you're Lisa. That's 3 syllables too. Lisa. 3 syllables. Oh, at the what did I do? I wish Tom was here to tell me. Pageants. That's it. That's that's like 6 syllables. So at the pageants, they would say, what do you want to do to change the world? And I would say, well, I would like to help kids that need help, like James Kennedy and Graham. I thought that's who I was going to be helping. But it turns out it's like real kids, and they have like snot in their noses and they like can't drink. And it's like I was supposed to last the whole day, Lisa, with no alcohol. It's like hard. So anyways, nothing happened except everything happened. I'm just so tired. Partying is like so hard. So Lisa's just disgusted. Charlie's disgusted. The guy owner walked away. He was like, I am too old to be in a cheating scandal. Okay. My wiener has found itself in lots of positions, but not this. So no, thank you. So then Lala as narrator, again, shout out to Lala. The narration was on point to this episode. She's like, and you know Lisa. Lisa will get to the bottom of BS. She will sniff you out. And sure enough, Lisa gets on the horn, as my grandpa used to say. And she's like, hello, Sandoval. Okay, you and Tom Schwartz. Hi, Tom Schwartz, with my name on his ass. Anyways, LVP. What is going on? Rich Raquel just came in here looking like a whole bag of dicks. And she said she was at your house all night. Did she sleep over at your house? And Tom Sandoval's like, God, Lisa, no, like, dude. She's like, I'm not your dude. He's like, dude, seriously. She like dipped out. Like, whatever. She dipped out. What is dipped out? And then flashback editing, so good, to Katie Maloney, Katie in Paris making the sandwich. And she goes, dipped out means you left. You dipped. You were like, I dipped out. And she's like, no, she stayed. Cut back to Tom. Tom's like, dude, no, she like dipped out of the hot tub. I'm smart. And like, dude, I don't know, dude, shut up. Wait, is this Lisa? Sorry, I thought I was talking to Ariana. She slept in the bedroom of mine. No, the dog's bed. I slept in the dog. We doggy style. No, there were dogs there except for one. R.I.P. Shit, I'm burying myself here. Like, dude, I don't know. I can't answer. And she just kept having to say, I'm not your dude. He's like, no, we just hung out for a little while and then she literally dipped out. She dipped out, bro. Seriously. God, hello, Lisa, were you not alive in the 60s? Everybody said it dipped out, you know? Oh, God, I guess you don't understand 73-year-old lingo. And Lisa's like, I'm not your dude. He's like, I don't know. She left early. Hold on a second. And it was a mess, okay? And then Lisa's like, you can't have her spend the night. Your wife is out of town mourning her grandmother. Because Lisa, she doesn't understand this common law. I just want to live with you, be your life partner, BS. She's like, put a ring on it or get out of here. You don't get no cock rings, real rings, or nothing. So Lisa was not having it. And he's like, I know. It's just, God, it was just like drank too much. Oh, I'm just a young man. And she's like, you're actually not a young man. You're very old. You have old balls and you need to calm down your semen. Didn't the doctor tell you that you need to be taking better care of it? Because there was something, you didn't have a toxicology, a morphology, something low. Anyways, so then we go back and Lisa, again, Katie with the dip out. No, she did stay the night. So this was just a mess, but so well edited and put together. I loved every minute of it. And Lisa just straight up told the Toms. Now it's not just because Tom's like, God, I'm just sick of the Schwartz Raquel thing. And when he said that, I'm thinking, bless you. I'm thinking, is that because he's jealous? Bless you. That Schwartz and Raquel are in the same sentence. At first, you were pushing for that smoke screen, but now you wish it was you. Are you getting a little jealous? And she goes, oh no, it's not. Even Schwartz is like, that's not a thing. He holds me down. He gives me noogies and makes me stay and tells me if I don't, he'll beat me up and he'll pull my underwear up my ass farther than Rachel's thong pants. So I just stay because I'm scared. I'm a man baby. I'm Minnesota nice, Tom Schwartz. And I can't live for myself. And Lisa's like, no, now it looks like a throuple. It looks like Tom and Rachel Raquel. And he's like, God, dude, that's so stupid. Can't like a guy in a relationship ignore his girlfriend whose grandma just died and hang out with a hot young chick alone all night in the hot tub and in their bedroom without people talking shit? Is this the kind of world we live in, Lisa? Oh my God. And then we cut back to Lala. And this is when James tells another interesting story. Apparently, James and Tom Sandy, because he has all the time in the world to be drunk, cheating, and now he gets to go to the marijuana lodge or lounge. It should be a lodge. That would be more fun. But there's a marijuana lounge in LA. And James and Sandy Butt went there. And they were just like puff, puff, no pass and talking. And James is like, speaking of which, this is how I found out. So we're just like chiefing, just puffing on some BLUNTs, some blunty blunts. I don't know what it is. And I had to roll his because, you know, he's old. So he's telling me like, yeah, man, it's me, Tom Sandybutt. And so Rachel, after, you know, the beach day, Rachel came over to my house while Ariana was mourning her grandma out of town. So did Schwartz. I dragged him along. And then we went in the hot tub. And then she dipped out. And yeah. And James is just like, okay. So obviously, you know, she was there, whatever. My voice is getting more and more like Steve-O. Like, Tom Sandoval, you have to stop. You have to stop smoking. Your voice, sir, your voice. And so James is like, oh, okay, so she dipped out. All right, cool. Got it. Okay, thank you. And then Tom goes, so then Tom and Rachel slept over. Dude, like, they like totally like slept over. And James Kennedy says, what? I thought you said she dipped out. God, does no one understand my English? Jesus, God, dude. Like, she dipped out into the house to go to bed. She went to bed. She, like, dipped out into my bedroom. I mean, the guest bedroom. So in this moment, Tom said he loves to use literally and like. She, like, literally dipped out to my bedroom. My effing bedroom. I mean, the guest room. And James's face is like, you just contradicted yourself within the same sentence. You lied. And Lala's just like, as James is telling her, she says, you know what? This is smelly. This is smelly cat. I'm not here for it. Okay, I'm so sick of Tom Sandoval's degenerate ass. I'm going to call that shit out. Okay, I'm watching you and you're a whole effing mess. Lauren from Utah is on it. I'm going to get my Tupac jumpsuit and I am going to law and order this shit, James Kennedy. Okay. Then we see that Lauren says, you know, what's even more interesting is, and the reason why I think that something's going on between Raquel and Tom Sandoval is because I was at a party with Sheena and the gang on Labor Day, which was also Lala's birthday. And if you guys didn't or don't follow Sheena's vlog channel, Sheena has this all in her vlog. So here's what happens. I took a little clip from it and I did upload it or send it over to my computer, but I'm going to put it in a separate, shorter video and show you guys, but I'll tell you what happened. So they have these friends that are really rich, and I don't know what they do, but they are rich, and I want to find out what they do and how to be friends with them, okay? It's like Will and Grace or Will and Rachel. It's like this hot girl and this kind of hot guy, and they got a cute, cute baby, and they got big-ass houses, and I don't know what they do. If anyone knows how I can be friends with them, please let me know, because I would love to go to their house. They have a house in Newport, somewhere in Orange County. Everyone went there for Labor Day for a party. Beautiful place. Sheena was there the day before on a yacht. She was on a yacht with like Lala and Slade and Gretchen from Orange County. And Kristen Doty was there. Jax and Brittany were there. Their kids are there. They're having fun. Then the next day at Olivia and Tom's, whatever the guy's name is, okay? Will and Grace, the rich couple that they're friends with, at their house, they have a pool party. And again, Lala's there. Lala's twerking in her swimsuit. Jax is there. Brittany's there. All the same people that were on the yacht. But later in the day, guess who shows up? Tom Sandybutt. And he makes it a point to say this, okay? Because I was just editing the video that I want to post. Okay, I was doing it in my little InShot editor. All right, and so they're on the little yacht, and there's Lala, and then I even caught Gretchen and Slade, and I was like with Kristen Doty, and I'm like, okay, you guys stay away from those two. But all right, so then it's the next day. Let's see whose house they're at. Oh wait, I have my earphone in, so you guys won't be able to hear it. My AirPod. Let's talk about the grandma earphone. Okay. So it's the next day.
Good morning from paradise. Happy Labor Day, everyone. We are over here at Will and Elaine's getting set up.
Will and Elaine. Someone find the contact info for Will and Elaine. We all have to be friends with them because they look like they have a good time. Okay. And they look very generous.
Up for the party.
So you're setting up for a party. Sorry, that was really loud. Then all of a sudden, this rascal comes walking in. Hello, what's up? With his beaded necklace. What's up? And I slowed it down a little bit. And he makes an interesting comment when he finds out Sheena's recording. Because he didn't need to tell us this. But he says,
Hey, look who arrived!
San Diego. Last minute.
so she's like, hey. And he's like, hey, look at who arrived. And he says, I came from San Diego. Last minute. Dude, who asked? You are giving way too much information. You're a horrible liar. The more information you give, the more we can tell you're lying. Just randomly, he's like, I came from San Diego. Who shows up to a party and just says, I came from North Hollywood, studio apartment, last minute. I came from Rachel's vagina. Like, why do we need to know where you were before? There's no need. So that was sus. And then a minute later, look who's there. Rachel freaking Raquel is there, you guys. And then there's Sandoval sitting behind Lala. And she starts twerking. It's her birthday. They bring out a cake. And he's just like hiding back there like a creep. Like, how can I look at Rachel Raquel? And then we see also Rachel. So there's Tom. So Lala's about to twerk it. And he's sitting behind her mom. Probably trying to hit on her mom because he's such a creep. And then the cake comes out. And then we have Rachel Raquel laying down on a couch by the pool. Very, very close to Mr. Brock. I don't know if you can see that, but that's too close for comfort now that we know that she just don't care that it is her friends' dudes. She don't care. So that to me is just too close for comfort, Brock. All right, now Sheena was around. Obviously, she's filming. And then Rachel Raquel's in the pool, and she's vaping in the pool, or I don't know, she's sucking on some kind of USB drive. I don't know what's going on over there. And so we find out this episode, that's the party that Lala explains is the one where Ariana just found out that Labor Day weekend. And I think that day, actual Labor Day, that Tom's at this party, that her grandmother passed, her beloved grandmother Betty, R.I.P. Grandma Betty. That's the cutest, best name for a grandma. Okay? So Grandma Betty has passed. Ariana's sad. She asked Tom to come home. Come home, baby. I'm mourning my grandma. Tom Sandybutt says, I can't get an Uber. Like, God, seriously, dude, I can't. Like, whatever. He stays at the party, according to Lala, for hours. For hours. And hangs out with Rachel Raquel. And like Priya's saying, but at the same time, he's taking her to therapy. Maybe he has her working through trust issues or something. I mean, it's just so sick. It's so sick. It's so sick. I know I need a reaction to Sheena being so close to Rachel Raquel being so I need Sheena's reaction to Rachel Raquel being so close to Brock. For sure. Is it Grandma Bonnie or is it Grandma Betty? Either way, the cutest name. Okay. So Scuzzy Sandoval is striking again, you guys. Oh my goodness. It's so horrible. And it's all there, Tom. Like everything is recorded now. Even though the episode didn't catch it, Sheena's vlog caught it. That's how bad you are at cheating. That's how horrible you are at lying. Like just how bad you are at karaoke, you're even worse at lying. Or you're equal to or the same. All right. So now seeing this, I'm just like, ugh. It's horrible. Now, Lala goes on to retell this story to Lisa Vanderpump, Katie, and Christina Kelly. because Lala is now like, she feels like so sus towards them. She's like, what is going on here? And so she's like, Ariana's grandma just passed away. Tom Sandybutt is hanging out with Rachel Raquel at this party when he should be supporting Ariana. Then he's dancing alone with her at the Abbey. He has her sleep over when Ariana's out of town. I mean, if it walks like a duck and F's like a duck, it's probably a duck. It's a slutty duck. And that's Tom Sandybutt. He is a slutty duck. And James Kenny's like, if he has a thing for Rachel Raquel, oh my gosh. He's like that meme. Oh my God, what the hell? I was walking around all day just saying, oh my God, what the hell? After watching this episode for a second time, it was just too much. And Lala makes another point. This was such a good scene. And says, the only time Tom Sandybutt has spoken this way about anyone, the way he speaks and treats Rachel Raquel, is how he spoke about Ariana when he was dating Kristen. I was like, you're right, Lauren from Utah. You are right. You are so right. And what we're learning, and what we learned also from Kristen Doty being on Watch What Happens Live, is that this is a pattern for Tom Sandybutt. This is who this person is. Once he is done with you in a relationship, he paints you as the bad guy, finds a cuter, a different, newer version, according to him, and replaces you. But before he's out of the relationship, he replaces you. And then he becomes infatuated and love bombs another person while gaslighting the shit out of you as if you're the only one to blame and he's tried and you're evil. And you should feel horrible and you've ruined his life. And this is why he had to move on while still dating you, because of how horrible you are. I'm just like, this scene had so much information in it. The editing was fantastic. I was like, chef's kiss all around. Linda says this is why he blames Ariana for not figuring out he is cheating on her. It's all, yeah, because in Howie Mandel's interview, it was, well, Ariana should have known. I can't be man enough to tell her. She should know these things. And I'm watching it thinking, that is psychotic, Tom Sandybutt. Horrible. Tom got caught in his lie at the very end, right? I think he wanted to get caught, partly Cloudy says. And I think so too. I think there, and I don't know who spoke about this first, but that Tom Sandybutt, I think he kind of gets off on the secretiveness of the cheating and all that jazz and behind someone's back. I think there must be, because this is kind of what obviously he likes to do. So then we go back to Animal Crossing Farm for Rachel Raquel's glamping birthday. And it's like, Rachel Raquel's a big girl now. She's 28. And Ariana's there, and Ariana is barely holding it together. She tells us in an interview segment, I am hanging on by a string, which was heartbreaking to hear. She's had a lot of loss this year. Charlotte, her grandma. She's dealing with this whole egg embryo situation with Tom Sandybutt, which I think was probably like some kind of last ditch effort for her as well to, keep that option open, have, be able to control her own body and things. But also, I think a little bit of pressure from Tom through the years, and also very sickening that he totally dragged his jizz on this one, which I'm glad he did now, knowing what we know. But after basically trying to mansplain his way into marriage and children with this woman for almost 10 years, when she opens up the idea of, okay, well, let's just have them. Let's have them ready. Let's have you sperminate my eggs. He doesn't, have the follow through, and he's not taking it seriously. And it's pretty sick. So Ariana's just like, I am having a really hard time. So she's there. She's got a bucket hat on. Rachel Raquel's like, You guys, I would like to make a toast. You know how good I am at toast. Remember last time with James and he wrote it for me at our engagement party? I was like, what, James? James is a great guy. What, James? We met and he's made my life colorful. What, James? And he's a great DJ. What, James? You got to go to what? www. What, James? James Kennedy, the best DJ in the universe.com and check it out for tour dates. Is that all, James? And we're getting married. Cheers. And then she went in the back and cried. Remember, she's like, I can't even give a stupid speech. Oh. So now she's giving a speech because this is new Rachel Raquel. I just wanted to cheers for being surrounded by my friends. You guys are my friends, especially Tom Sandoval. And Tom Sandoval's like, his dumbass face is like, the whole time, the whole episode, he's like, following her around. And then she's like, thank you. And Ariana's like, how's it feel to be the last person in their 20s? I like being the youngest. You know what's crazy about that is you're the youngest now. Everyone at one time in their life has been the youngest, whether it's with a friend group, in a relationship, at work. But guess what? It doesn't last. And before you know it, you are welcoming in a new youngest. And if that is your only virtue, if that is the only thing that this person likes about you or that's endearing about you or interests them about you, then someone will replace you. So enjoy it now, Rachel Raquel, because like Leonardo DiCaprio, once you get in the 30s, Tom Sandoval, I mean, if it lasts that long, he's going to be gone. So she's like, I love being the youngest. And Tom Sandoval's like, I love it too. I love it so much. So he's, I'm telling you, he's giving me those angry Adderall vibes. I don't know. Allegedly, it comes off very weird to me. Then we get a little confessional from Rachel Raquel. And Rachel Raquel, it is diabolical. It is evil how Tom and Rachel can carry on as if nothing is happening while they're carrying on a whole ass affair. She is now with Tom's girlfriend, and Tom is with his girlfriend, Ariana. Okay? Oh my God, Gail. I hope Ariana don't. The jizz. I hope she did too. I hope she threw it in his face. I hope she threw his own jizz back at him. Okay? But it is so crazy to watch them be at this glamping trip with Ariana and just lie so badly. So she's like, I feel like these are like my core people. They understand me. They're my real lifelong friends. We're going to be friends forever. These are my forever friends. As she's cheersing a Coors Light, she's like, they believe in me. It was so dark. Yes. Osfly girl. Yes. And twisted. And she's like, they're my forever friends. They believe in me. They cheer for me. They're here for me. I love it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Then Ariana starts talking. I don't remember who asked her, probably Sheena, because she's the only one that seems to care at this point about Ariana's well-being. How are you doing? Because remember, Ariana just got back from mourning the funeral for her grandma. Okay. And it gets even worse. So Ariana is sitting at the picnic table, a bucket hat. She's already told us she's hanging on by a thread. And she says, it's been hard because now I know I'm going to go home and I am not going to have my grandma. And I always looked forward to seeing Grandma Betty, Grandma Bonnie, Grandma Betty Bonnie. And it's really hard. She starts to cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Ariana. And Sheena comforts her. And then frickin' Tom Sandy Butt wipes his eyes when there's no liquid coming out. There are no tears. There's no tears. It's like he used Johnson & Johnson, no tears. As you can see, do you see any tears? No tears. What he wipes away is just shame. Any kind of honesty, eyeliner, guy liner. Oh, it was dark. It was dark. And it's almost because he can't even in that moment let Ariana have that. He has to go. It affected me too. So much. I didn't go to the funeral. I wasn't there when her grandma died when she needed me. That's how much it affected me. It affected me too because I thought I'd have more time to bang Rachel Raquel behind her back, but she came back early. And I thought when people die, you stay gone for a while. In the movies, it always seems like they're gone like a really long time, dude. Like a really long time. Yeah, he can't even let her have that moment. Sick and twisted and so dark. Okay. Poor Ariana. So then Ariana asks, did I miss anything while I was gone? I'm like, did you miss anything? Girl, you missed everything. These people are lying to you, what we know now. Okay. Rachel Raquel's like, oh, sorry about your grandma. She didn't even, I don't think she said sorry about your grandma. She just was like, anyways, back to me. I was an hour and a half late to work. And Ariana was like, Rachel Raquel said, yeah, I was. I was just like hanging out with Tom and Tom in the jacuzzi. We were just having some drinks. And then afterwards, I just like stayed the night on the couch, which is 3 syllables. Okay. And then Tom chimes in, yeah, I was like, dude. Oh, she was like all curled up, uncomfortable on the couch. And I was like, dude, go upstairs in me and Ariana's bed. I mean, the guest room. And then you can see Ariana. There's something, I don't know if I'm reading too much into the scene, but there's something in me that thinks Ariana even was like, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, if my husband, even when he was my boyfriend, wasn't at my grandmother's funeral, I'd be like, there's just not an option. I dated a guy once and my uncle passed away and he did not come to the funeral because I asked him to change his socks because he was wearing a suit with white socks. And I said, please put the dark dress socks on. And I was very stressed. We had lost my uncle. It was a sad day. And he was the cheater pumpkin eater, similar to a Tom Sandy butt. And he threw a fit. And then I threw a fit right back because I'm like, where the fucking dark socks? I have to go mourn the death of my father's youngest brother. This is like a very tragic time. And he wouldn't. And he just said, then I'm not going. And this reminded me so much of that. Like, what kind of guy doesn't go to support their significant other at the time of loss? Well, it's these cheater narcissists. That's what it is. And at that time, I was, in my 20s. I was very trusting. I also didn't want to see the red flag, see what was right in front of me. I thought I could fix everything. And I think similar to Ariana, I think, you fall into like that cool girl trap. And I think it's something, there's like, you can be 2 women. You can be the jealous, angry woman who like keeps her man from living his best life, which doesn't exist, but that's the role. Or the cool girl. And the cool girl's like, whatever, I don't check your phone. I trust you. You can have hot girlfriends and you can have sleepovers and it's no big deal because I totally trust you. But there's got to be somewhere in between. You can't just be the evil bitch that's going to ruin his life or the chick that's going to give him all the room to ruin his life. When does the ladies' needs come into play? And I think Ariana, she fell into the cool girl trap. And I always say, don't be the cool girl. Don't be the cool girl. Don't be the cool girl. rock the boat, because the boat is yours too. You're on that boat. It's not just the guy's boat, but I think there's a lot of like social conditioning that happens in, for men and women, especially when it comes to relationships. And, it is still kind of antiquated in that older mentality of you don't want to be that type of, and I don't know if it's, I hope this isn't the case for like younger generations and my niece's generation and stuff, but you don't want to be like, what if he looks back and I held him back from all these things, and I'm, a nag, and I'm all these things, and I want to be the cool girl. And it's like, no, there's no winning. You just got to be you, and you got to be very open with what you want, what you need. And it's got to be equal, because it's your boat too. You're both on the boat. But I would say a lot of people my age, Ariana's age, fell into the cool girl, because it was either I had friends that were, here's the ring I want, and putting the picture on the fridge. Don't you talk to another chick. Let me see your goddamn phone. And then you had chicks like me who were like, he just wants to go to Europe for the summer by himself. It's always been his dream. We're fine. I'm going to stay here. He's going to go to Europe. Has he talked to me in a couple weeks? No, he was, they didn't have Wi-Fi. I guess Greece doesn't have Wi-Fi, but he's having a great time, So there's just these two ends of the spectrum, but there's got to be a good in between. But I think that there's a lot of conditioning that happens where, you either fall into one of those two roles. And that's just my 2 cents as, a woman in America. Okay. Right. Both Sam says both cool girls. Any of those girls can get you cheated on with the wrong guy. So be the girl for you. Be your own girl. Be the best girl for you. And realize that the boat you're on, you can rock his boat because it's your boat too. You can rock each other. 50-50. I know, I'm so sorry, Lexi, but that when I freaking think back, this season is making me think back on so many decisions and things I did in a past relationship that now, at the time when I broke up with this man in 2009. So there was no triggering, wasn't a word. There was none of gaslighting. No one used these kind of words. That's why I'm grateful to the younger generation and things and more talk about like mental health and relationships and relationship dynamics and, people being more open and having more avenues in which to share their stories, because, I think a lot of people, and I can only speak for women, myself being a woman, and my experience and my friends' experiences, we tend to blame ourselves. And we tend to think, well, what's wrong with me? What could have I done? What am I not doing that he's cheating? Because you'll hear this. You'll even hear women say it, which is so problematic. They're like, well, if you ain't having sex with them, someone else will. Or maybe he could just work on the person that's not having sex with him and find out the reason why they're not having sex. Or maybe think of the person they're with as more than just sex. And if they're not happy, then they leave. They don't have to just go start having sex, because we dumb down men that way too. It's like, well, if he ain't putting his dicks with you, he put his dick somewhere. Dick needs a home, dick gonna dick. It's like, well, vag gonna vag then. Then we're all gonna do. Okay. Right. I'm so grateful to see. That's why when people complain about this younger generation, I'm like, hell no, these young chicks are doing it right. They are putting it out on Front Street, what they want, what they need, what they deserve. And that's what I wish. I have a whole joke about it in my stand-up act. Like, I wish that my generation did that sort of thing. We were more open than my mom's generation, because the boomer women fought for us to get a voice. And then, we fought a little bit. And now the next generation is, a little farther along. It's just progress takes a while. Okay. But it's happening. I hope. I think with these young women, 'cause I'm telling you, there are just chicks out there who are like, buy me a burrito and make me come. And I talk about this in my stand-up act. And my generation was like, buy me a salad and I'll try not to cry until after sex, like that. But the women now are like, boom, boom. And yes, I love that. I love that kind of empowerment. And vag gonna vag. All right. So back to the story. They're lying straight up to Ariana. Dude, I was like, go upstairs. She was all like cuddled on the couch, like a giant giraffe woman. And it was just like so weird, dude. Like totally freaking weird. Ugh. And then Sheena goes, yeah, Brock said that you guys lied about it. Why did you lie about it? Cut to the Toms lying to everyone about this sleepover, but lying so poorly. And then they tried to play it off like, well, the optics. If anyone ever tells you optics, punch them in the face. I don't advocate violence, but punch or kick them in the nuts. Red flag. If anyone's like, the optics of this, either they're a politician, which they deserve to be kicked in the nuts, or they're an asshole. Optics, screw you. So they're trying to pass it off like the optics of Tom Schwartz, because just coming off of, his new war with Katie about kissing Rachel Raquel. And this is such an awkward scene because Ariana is sitting there and they're just like, optics, yeah, optics, yeah, bro, penises, optics, right, that's right, we should have told the truth, man. And then Tom Sandoval's like, I didn't even tell Ariana. Dude, I should have told Ariana. Yes, you immature man, baby. What are you doing having sleepovers? You're in AARP, sir. Calm it down. Oh, and then Rachel Raquel's there sucking down a Coors Light, and I hate everything about it. Cut to Lala and Katie with Christina Kelly. They're modeling the robes. The robes have hoods. They are women and helping each other. Women in business, help me. We talk a little bit about how Lala is now, these companies are going to feed her child. And part of me at first is like, what are you talking about? Oh, yes, because Rand, old pickleball, no neck Rand, is, getting sued by everybody and is out there spreading his money around, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul and, Mr. Poker with the alleged gambling problem and alleged Harvey Weinstein and training issues. I heard recently that I think they were saying he changed his name so he could still work in Hollywood. Excuse me? No, Rand. I mean, what did you really do? You're just borrowing money from people. I guess Jax and Brittany on their new podcast, I haven't listened to it because I just can't. I know some of you guys want Jax and Brittany back, but I just can't bring myself to listen. I'll try for you because I love you all, but I can't. Yeah, the optics of it all means that you're dealing with a cis male, and nobody likes a cis male.
The new thing is that, as a cis male,
Did you say cyst?
raise your voice, yell, do whatever you feel entitled to do. But as a straight male, if I was a woman, I could do that. If I was a gay male, I could do that. But as a straight male, if I raise my voice, it's wrong.
As a straight male, I just can't yell at women. God, it's so unfair. I just want to yell at a bitch. God, it's not right. It's not right, dude. It's totally not right. Right? Stay on the couch. I haven't even watched their recap show yet. I need a break from them for a little bit, but some of you are very much, very pro them, and I understand and I accept you and I love you, but I'm not there yet. Also, their eyebrows are freaking me out. I know that I should get past that. I should be more mature, but we have to calm our eyebrows down. Okay? I suffer from lack of eyebrows, and so I just pencil stuff in and just hope it bleeds down. But something is happening where everyone is like this, and they're like watching the show, and they just look constantly surprised. And I need them to just calm it down. Okay, Brittany's are to the sky, and then Jax's are like in his hairline now. But maybe I'll get better. It's me, it's not them. Thank you, Chow.
Can I invite your friend over to sleep in our bed?
No, but you can invite yourself to a episode of Snapped.
Okay.
On the Oxygen channel, where the women take back. That was my husband.
But she's your best friend.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Like, I accepted it, by the way. I accepted it. Like, I was like, okay, like, Ken and Lisa, they probably don't have sex all the time. Like, this is probably how it is. Like, you get in a relationship, like, for a long time, you just stop having sex. It's just one of the things that happens. I hear it all the time. So I accepted it, I got porn, I got whatever. I can just go crack one off in the bathroom, like, right. Be done with it. But...
Like, he's 40. He's 40 years old,
Is
everybody.
it now? There's.
He's such a loser.
You watched the episode? What?
No, I was just looking at the scene. My husband's here.
So can I crank one off with your best friend in our bed?
I will Maida you. Allegedly. Everything's alleged. And I have tons of people in the chat who are
You didn't say no.
my aliens. I'm saying no with a knife. Okay, thank you. Priya says, question, do you think the plan was for the Toms to... Yes, I talked about that early when we first started the stream. Yep. And then Rachel pushes out James, which is why she's taking over the friend group. Exactly. Yes. I believe that wholeheartedly. Yes. Crack it off. We will snap. My husband knows. I mean, I'm very honest. What I learned in my past as a young woman, you have to be very straightforward. I tell my husband, cheat on me, I'll see you in heaven, but you won't be there. Okay. Those are things, I like flowers. I need this. I like when you cook this for me. What do you need from me? Here's what I need from you. You have to watch shows that you don't like, scary movies. I need you to cuddle with me, even though that's your least favorite thing. That's marriage. Marriage is a giant sleepover. You don't always want to be invited to, but you can't call your parents to go home. That's what marriage is. It's just a big 24/7 sleepover, but your parents will never come get you. So you better get used to it. All right. I love you guys. It's them, not you. Well, as someone getting ready to turn 63, thank God I made it this far. ARP, you make me laugh out loud. Oh, I love you. Love you. Welcome, Gail. Thank you for coming, a new member. Appreciate you. Oh my God. Joleen, is your name Joleen? That's a beautiful name. So close to mine. 27-year-long sleepover. Yes. I have been in a full-time marriage sleepover since 2015. So I've been in an 8-year sleepover, and you can't call your mom to come get you. You cannot at all. Okay. So back to the Go-Gurt scene. I mean, it's just all these scenes are crazy. They're crazy. That one's over. We're back with the women, and they're talking, they're doing the modeling thing because Lala does now have to be the sole provider. Give them Lala, which Tom Schwartz said was cringy, but I think your lack of assertiveness as a 40-year-old man is cringy to me. So, cringe is subjective. And so they talk about that. And then they also talk about this thing that, has been, I guess, interpreted that Katie said they had an open relationship when Katie said, I didn't say they had an open relationship, talking about Sandy Butt and Ariana. Because when Allie saw them together, she told Katie, and then it's been lost in translation. And somehow now Katie somehow said they had an open relationship. And Katie's like, I never said that. So now we're going to cut to the Go-Gurts. And Sheena and Ariana disappeared into the yurt to talk and drink Trulies. And they start talking about the situation with how they miss each other and the situation with Katie. And obviously Sheena is not team Katie at all. And so she wants to talk with Ariana about what happened at the beach day and how Schwartz had a beer thrown on him and how Allie told everyone that Tom, Sandy Butt, and Rachel Raquel were dancing with themselves at the Abbey, and how Katie said they're in an open relationship. And this is where Ariana says that she believes that Katie would say this. And I'm like, no. I think Katie, Katie's trying to explain Tom and Ariana's relationship. And it is unconventional of what Katie, I guess, had, even though, Tom Schwartz admitted to cheating all the time. He was like a kissing whore. But I think it's come to a point with Tom and Ariana where Ariana probably subconsciously knows that, probably obviously consciously, they know that they are in a lull in their relationship. She doesn't know the extent of it. She knows that this thing with Rachel Raquel, it's annoying. She's around a lot. I think she's kind of picking up on things. But she probably doesn't think it's a full-on affair because she still trusts her boyfriend. She still loves him. If you hear Tom Sandy Butt on Howie Mandel's podcast, they were doing a little bit of maybe therapy working on that, and he was still cheating on her through that. And, you know, she's dealing with a lot of loss. You know, in relationships, you have ebbs and flows. And sometimes what we've learned with Tom Sandy Butt and what we learn with, you know, a lot of people, sometimes it's easier to just ignore the problem and hope it gets better. You think that's easier, but it actually just gets worse than actually deal with it head on. And I think that's what's happening now. There's a lot at stake for the two of them. They are a brand. They do have businesses. This is no excuse for Tom Sandy Butt at all. But I think they probably, you know, look the other way on some things, not cheating wise, but just, okay, we're not having a lot of sex right now. Okay, we're in a lull. Okay, we'll come back. And we do see Ariana this season crying and very upset, saying, you know, Tom is always off doing stuff for his bar. He's always working, and I want to spend more time with him. And she goes with him to find a couch because it took him forever to find a damn couch. And we know now he was just cheating with Rachel Raquel. So every time he says he is off working, we don't know really where he's at or what he's doing, because now we know he's had this full-on affair relationship with Rachel Raquel. And we won't ever know truly when it really started, because they haven't been honest. It keeps changing, and you just don't know, because we're dealing with two huge liars, Rachel Raquel and Tom Sandy Butt. So I feel for Ariana. There are times in relationships where you're like, I hope this gets better, you know, and maybe it was something that they could have dealt with better, but that still is no excuse for him to step out in the way he did, which is just so despicable. And I do think that there is an apology owed. I think Scheana and Katie have now spoken, and they're like friends again. And I think the thing with Scheana and Katie goes so far back on the show that season after season, we'll see them friends to enemies, friends to frenemies. And there's just a lot of tension. They're still holding things against each other. It seems like they only really have befriended each other closely in times where they're at odds with others. So it was almost a relationship, friendship out of convenience. I mean, we saw with Katie's wedding with her and Scheana seasons ago. Scheana's like, I don't really feel a part of your friend group, but it was like when Katie wasn't kicking it with Stassi, then she was kicking it with Scheana, and Stassi and Scheana never really. So Scheana always felt on the odds and the outs with these women. And sometimes she'd be accepted and sometimes not. So I can see from both sides kind of what's going on. It is too bad that Scheana and Katie can't get it together to be friendly with one another. And especially in a situation like this, because the things they're holding against each other after all these years are so minuscule compared to what's happening in front of their face with Rachel Raquel so blatantly disrespecting them and fucking up their friend group with Tom Sandy Butt. So it's really interesting to watch these two like hate on each other. And the call is coming from right next door. The tall giraffe lady is effing everything up. But these two women they just can't seem to get past the issues and grudge they have with each other. Sam says there was an episode where Scheana said she doesn't like being friends with girls. What? Was that a while ago? Because Scheana has had some cringy episodes and seasons where I was like, Scheana, come on. I do like myself some Scheana, but that is a red flag. When women say, I just get along with guys better. That's a Rachel Raquel thing to say. Definitely red flag in a friendship. So they're talking about this whole thing. And, you know, I do hope that there was apologies made to Katie, because she was really calling it out. And she took a lot of Rachel Raquel dirty cheating bullets this season, as everyone just so blindly had Rachel Raquel's back and believed all her BS. And were willing to like hate Katie and throw Katie under the bus and kind of disregard her pain and her divorce and whatever. And, you know, Schwartz and Katie for a long time, they had just a real shithole relationship. Even when they were getting married, I was like, oh, this is not good. But I do feel for Katie, because they were so quick to just be like, yeah, she probably did say that. She probably is throwing me under the bus. It's like, no, she's going into business with you. If anything, she has your back. She would never do this to you. Then we cut to one of the cringiest moments of the episode, and that's they have the bonfire. Okay. So they have a ranch dressing dinner. And then Raquel almost pours out the ranch. It's so telling. There's so much foreshadowing in this episode. Raquel is pouring the ranch for herself, and then she's done giving it to herself, and she almost drops it and ruins it for everyone else. And I'm like, oh, that's so Rachel. She is fucking up the thing. Like, she's just messing everything up. And it was just very, very, very Rachel. All right. So they're eating. Okay. So we'll talk about the eating. We'll talk about the dinner scene first. And it was horrendous. So it's Rachel's big birthday dinner. She turned the big 28, which, if you don't know, is the worst age to be. At least it was for me. I hated everything about being 28 years old. It was the worst year of my life, but I digress. Okay. So she's already told us she slept on the couch. And then she's like, I'm 28. And then she cries. And there's just so much crying. And I'm like, girl, can we calm it down a little bit? So she's crying. And then Tom gives an impassioned speech where he's basically being a cheerleader for Raquel. Like, God, he like hits to, and they're like, Tom, calm down. Like, I'm telling you, angry Adderall vibes. I'm sorry, I have them. Something's not right. And I think he might be on Ozempic because he has lost a lot of weight. So him and allegedly Kyle Richards says she's not, but him, Dolores from Jersey, Marge from Jersey, everyone's on Ozempic, allegedly. Okay. Kris Kardashian, allegedly. Just they're going Ozempic crazy. So maybe it's Ozempic, making him feel weird. And his hairline is changing and it can cause hair loss, allegedly. So he's like, God, you've become such a great woman. You're amazing. Ugh. And I'm just like, what is he doing? What are you saying, Tom Sandy Butt? You are hyping up your mistress in front of your girlfriend. This is the most effed up shit I've ever seen on reality TV. It is such a blatant disrespect. Again, like they want to get caught. It's crazy. BRG says, so vile, can't wait till she leaves him and accuse him of recording that video stuff without permission. Yeah, what happened to that? What happened to that whole claim? Oh my gosh. See, everyone has their own. Christine says, I loved being 28, but 30, I loved being 30. 30 was so great. Can't believe they eat ranch occasionally. They eat ranch because Stassi made ranch a thing years ago. Okay. Yes, she is messy in every single way. Ooh, Kush Life says, pageant childhood is like Disney kids. She needed therapy and aftercare. That's fascinating. And I think you are not far off. Definitely not far off at all. So he's just like, and they're like, Tom, calm down. He's like, sorry. And it gave me groomer vibes. It gave me gross vibes. It gave me like your coach who now is like, what a beautiful budding woman you're turning into. You're really developing. And you're like, excuse me? What did he just say? It's creepy. Tom, you look creepy. You look creepy with Raquel. You look too old for her. You look too angry. You just not good. It's not good. The way he was just like, you came into your own. It feels groomy. Even the answers she's giving people and how we see in the preview for next week's episode where she's like, Katie, it's not my problem if your divorced husband wants to have sex with me. That's not my problem. Maybe I have more empathy for Schwartz than you. And it's like he wrote scripts for her because I do not believe that this woman came up with that on her own. I'm not saying she's innocent. I still think she is single white femaling Ariana. I think she has been trained to be very competitive with women. There's something lacking, missing there. Hate, jealousy, very diabolical. But it's like he wrote the script and she is delivering it. It is groomy as hell. This whole scene, him hyping her up constantly. It is so nasty. Sam says, OMG, when she was going on about how she respects people. So we do have Raquel talking about how this is such a transformative time for her because she's now 28 and she's aged out of pageants. And she cries about that. So she's very sad because pageants were her whole identity. She was going to help children, but then she found out children are icky and sticky and there's no alcohol. So she wasn't interested anymore. And so now she can just like, fly free to any of her friends, man's wieners she wants to. And she can finally be herself. And we saw so many interviews before this season and during the season before Scandoval broke, where she was saying things like, I know I'm a good person. And let me tell you, I have never heard a good person say they're a good person. That's something I've never heard, because good people don't say it. They just are. The only people I hear say they're good people are sociopaths and bad people that aren't good. Because I've never just been like, you guys, you know what? I'm a good person. Why would you say that? Why would I need to tell you that? Exactly. Siri, what is empathy? Or you go, we'll call her Alexis. What is empathy? What is the empathy? Tasha says, that's the way he normalized his cheating. She just fell in line. Exactly. Mama Drama says, how he was the one that handed Rachel the gift that he and Ariana gifted him. Why couldn't he let Ariana hand it to her? So gross. I agree with you 100%. Okay. Then there's this moment during dinner where she's like, Sandoval, you have a little right here. Now, let me tell you, if my guy friends have shit on their face, I let them walk around with shit on their face. Pretty much. Especially when they're across the table. If my guy friend's right in front of me and I'm at like a comedy show, he has a booger hanging out or something, I'll be like, dude, go check your face. But she was 80 feet from him across the table going, you have a little something here, Lala. You have a little. And he's like, oh, it's probably the tears for Grandma Betty. And then Schwartz makes an interesting joke about, I think, Raquel, something about her. Oh, she bites her lip. And Ariana's like, no, Raquel. And what does Sandy Butt say? Or what does Schwartz say? What does he say? He says, I'm just looking back at it. Okay, so she tells him he has a little something on his face, and oh, your cheek. And Ariana's like, what the fuck? Why are you looking at him so much like that? Oh, he had glitter on his face. I forgot. Who wears glitter? Ariana's not wearing any makeup, remember? You guys remember that? She's just mourning her grandma. She has a very fresh face. You know who is wearing makeup? Rachel Raquel. And you know who forgot her makeup bag? Rachel Raquel. And she had to tell everyone, you went glamping for one night. A tinted moisturizer will do you just fine, darling. But no, she had to put on a full face in front of other people's men's. Oh, no. And so now he's got glitter on his face. Now, we know Tom is not afraid of putting a little glitter on himself, but he don't look like he wore any makeup to this trip. I mean, he probably wore a little bit of guy liner, but interesting. Maybe when Ariana and Sheena were in the Go-Gurt alone, he had time to get a quick snog in with Rachel Raquel. Oh my gosh. Then she bites her lip because the karmic gods are real. And then they make a joke about the glitter and you know what that means. And then when she bites her lip, Tom Schwartz says that's going to exacerbate Rachel's need for blood. And she's like, that's so funny, Tom Schwartz. I do love blood because I'm evil. We are going to do Real Housewives of Orange County. Yes, me and Nana are going to do that. Okay. So they basically say Rachel Raquel's a vampire. She agrees. Then Tom Schwartz makes a joke about Brock and Tom. Watch out, because we know Rachel Raquel's favorite type of man is one that belongs to somebody else. And they all laugh. And it's so, knowing what we know now, it is so bad. So they'd ask her about her pit and her peach. I think breaking up with James because she is. I've never seen someone want credit for breaking up with someone so badly. She's like, breaking up with James was like really hard. So I know I'm a badass. And I'm not going to help the kids anymore. But I did break up with James after we didn't have sex for 2 years. So I know that I am a strong, independent queen. Honey boo boo child. Like she keeps bringing this up. It's like, okay, build a bridge. James is moved on halfway to Allie. Okay, this is old news. And then I met you guys and I built all these friendships, but the whole time she's saying it, she's just looking right at Tom Sandoval and he's looking right at her, but all these other people are at the table. And I'm just watching going, are they not noticing? I mean, I know we're all hyper aware now because of, the outage of Scandoval, but she's just like, and I have all these friends because of James, like with you, Tom Sandoval. And I like when we hug each other with our genitalia. It is so creepy. She literally, if you go back and watch that scene, she is just looking at him. And then she peers over at Ariana, but she looks at him and he looks at her. And then he gives his stupid impassioned speech about, how great she is and the woman she's become. And then they all cheers with cans. And remember when they went, now it's reminding me of Ariana. Oh my God, you guys. So many things are floating through my ADHD brain. Okay, remember, wasn't it Ariana's birthday? Oh my God. I need a minute. No, I don't. Okay. Rachel Raquel, we know, was a fan of the show. James Kennedy's mom called it out. And he said, she came in and poached my son. All right. And I was like, okay, we'll see. But now I'm starting to believe James Kennedy's mom. So she's a fan of the show. Ariana previously had a birthday, did she or did she not, where she went to like NASCAR and they had a RV and the rest of the group went somewhere else, but it was like Tom and Ariana, Ariana's brother, Brittany, and they were really kind of rednecking it out. And now all of a sudden, Rachel Raquel wants this, like, my version of it will be glamping. Like, did she watch the show? And remember how in love Tom Sandoval was with Ariana that season and with that whole thing? They were like, Ariana's so cool. Look at, and even Tom Schwartz is like, look at her. She's drinking and there she was eating steak with her hands and she was twerking. And Tom Sandoval's like, that's my girl. And they were talking about like sex. And then Rachel Raquel picks kind of a similar theme for her birthday. And Tom Sandoval is now obsessed with her the way he was Ariana on that birthday. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but everything this woman has done, from her haircut to things with her style to, now maybe birthday events, have been very similar to Ariana and just continues to be. Because we only saw Rachel Raquel as this girly girl who wore bows and had puppy parties. I love pink and all these things. And Ariana can be a little girlish at times, but she was strictly girly girl. And now all of a sudden she's like, I want to camp and drink beer out of a can. And these are all things. She's trying to do the cool girl thing. She's trying this. This is who she is, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just had this vision all of a sudden. I'm thinking this birthday, because I knew this birthday seemed a little familiar. And just with the way she's being hyped up by the Toms, mainly Tom Sandoval, I'm like, I've seen this before. And it was Ariana's birthday. It's creepy. Yes, Ariana was upset because Lala couldn't make her NASCAR birthday party. I totally remember that. Rachel Raquel this woman studied the show. James Kennedy's mom deserves a medal. She deserves she figured this chick out. Because she knew exactly what she was doing. Because she's had to play the part before. She knows what it's like in a pageant. You have to say the right things, do the right things, act the right way, dress the right way. There are all these different parts of the competition. I feel like she's treating her infiltration into Vanderpumprules the same way she treated the pageant world. And you have to beat the other women. You want to be on top? It's like Tyra Banks. Oh my God. Because I don't believe this woman previously would wear flannels, drink canned beer, go on a camping glamping trip with the guys. That just wasn't who she is. She was like tea parties and pretty stuff and long hair. And now she's like short hair and I'm cool and you should have sex with your guy. When before you weren't having sex with your guy for 2 years. So I don't know what you're talking about giving Ariana any kind of advice. But I digress. Oh my gosh, I might have to do a separate video on that because that is with all the comparisons of how she's single, white, female Ariana. It's crazy. Oh, Lord. So they're all laughing at this dinner, having a great time. Roger comes out. Children, we got the fire ready. So they go over to the fire. And then Rachel Raquel's like, I just feel this pressure because my mom and dad are like, what are you going to do with your life? And I'm like, I don't know. I was just thinking you guys could like pay my bills. And then eventually I will take Ariana's position on this show. I'll move into Tom Sandoval's home because you have to remember also, Rachel Raquel's not used to paying her own bills. When she was with James Kennedy was paying for everything. Before then, her parents were paying for everything. And everything allegedly that James Kennedy wasn't paying for, her parents were paying for. So she's used to be taken care of. So she obviously is like, okay, well, James Kennedy's not paying anymore. I'm not going to pay my own bills. And this whole pageant thing didn't work out because Donald Trump says once you're 28, you become dead as a woman in the pageant world. So now I'll move. Who's a homeowner here? Okay. Tom Sandybutt. He's popular on the show. We'll go for him. I totally believe that she freaking poached the situation because she needed someone else to pay her bills. So she's like, my mom and dad want to know like what I'm going to do. I'm like, I'll find another guy to pay my bills. And that's when Ariana's like, well, what about the pageant stuff? Like what's going to go on with that? Well, I can't compete again. It's like so stupid, but I just can't. They were going to extend it, but I guess they're not. And that was like the big dream of mine to be Miss California. And so I was always worried about how to act. But now that I'm never going to be Miss California, I can be a complete degenerate piece of shit that hurts everybody in my wake. Cool. I've always been like the good girl. So then we see her little diary, her interview. I've always been the good girl. But now that I've aged out of pageants, I don't have to be good. I can be like Ted Bundy girl. Have you guys heard about him? He drove Volkswagens. So do I. And so I thought, that Ted guy seems interesting. And so I looked him up and he was kind of handsome. And so I just was like, now I just think, what would Ted Bundy do? And then I do that, but like less killy. So then she sits next to Ariana and she starts crying again. So we've had multiple crying sessions on her freaking birthday, which is the lamest piece of lame that ever lamed. While Ariana and Tom are listening intently, she goes and sits next to Ariana, who consoles her cheating, lying, duplicitous ass. And she's saying, I just want to be a role model, and I'm afraid that I'm like not a role model because I broke up with James, and I didn't know it. She does. Do you guys ever watch Teen Mom? Farrah from Teen Mom did the whisper cry, and it was my favorite thing. To the point where I watched it so much, I started to whisper cry. So when she gets really upset in her interview, she's like, I just want to be a good person. And I just want to be sus. And she whispers. I don't know what it is with the whisper cry. I never knew about the whisper cry until I saw Farrah from Teen Mom. And now I can't unsee the damn whisper cry. Yeah, she's a role model for what not to do. And maybe watch your kids that are in pageants. So she's just like, I just want to be a role model's behavior. I don't know. And Ariana hugs her. And in this moment is so loving, like a big sister. Ariana would be like the big sister you would love to have. I'm older than her, but I'd still take her as my big sister. I only have a little brother. And Ariana basically tells her, you are a role model. You know, you broke up with James. You did it, girl. You did it. And then we cut to Rachel Raquel, and she's like, a crazy thing about pageants is the fact that you have to choose a career path. And they were like, I chose occupational therapy. The first time I competed in a pageant, my whole life was mapped out for me. And then I was just kind of like, I don't want to have my whole life planned out. I want to experience random dick. And pageants didn't allow me to do that. I'm sorry. So I was just kind of like, how am I going to do that? And then I thought, well, maybe I won't help kids because they're kind of icky. And so it's like, do you guys ever watch The Hills? You know, I thought back to like, the rest is still unwritten. And so that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted it to be a news story. But that scares me. So some people fall into the gap and I fall onto your boyfriend's dick. And so she cries and we're just like, okay, cool. Cool. Ariana is so all in with her. I know Rachel Raquel's been around for a while. I know we rooted for her because she was kind of seen to be behind James. But boy, wow. It just, you want to be able to trust people, but you can never have that kind of blind trust. Then here comes Tom Sandoval. Hey, what's up, guys? Dude, we have a present for you. Hold on, let me find it in my man purse, my merce. Okay. Let's pretend. Okay. 1980 Versace sunglasses, huh, dude? And she's like, oh my God, Tom, it's from me and that chick over there. You know, that older chick who was hugging you? The one, yeah, the old ball and chain. But mostly from me, dude, like totally, like. And she puts on the sunglasses and Ariana stays seated. And like you guys said before, did Brittany also say that? Oh my lordy, these women, what the hell? She's like, oh my God, Tom, you did that for me. And Ariana's like, we both did. We both got it for you. She's like, Tom, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And Schwartz was like, I feel kind of bad I didn't get you anything, but I did piss by your go-gurt, by your yurt. And Rachel Raquel then goes, that's okay. You can give me a kiss. She went from bawling her eyes out, I can't be in pageants anymore. My whole life's written for me, to, you can give me a kiss, Schwartz. Knowing that you're having a full-on affair with Scandoval, and knowing the fact that Katie was so hurt by you both doing that. It is just unnecessary roughness. And then Schwartz is like, oh God, my penis just went back into my body. I don't know what to do because Tom's gonna hold me down and noogie me until I kiss you again. But I'm kind of dating that hairdresser girl already. Cool. Then they talk about Christina Kelly is having an event for her product line, for her like facial sprays, lip glosses, chapsticks, all that stuff at Tom Tom. And Rachel Raquel's like, I didn't get invited. And Sheena's like, oh my God, I just got a text, you guys. And I don't know what Sheena voice I'm doing right now, but she has like that, what we talked about last episode, the California thing, where she's just like, she's my best friend. Oh my God, Christina Kelly just texted me and she said I can come to her event, but you can't, Rachel Raquel. Maybe I'll text her. And then Schwartz is like, you can go as my date. Is that good, Tom? Did I do good, Tom? You're good, Tom. Thank Tom. And so then she's going to go on this date. And then all of a sudden Schwartz, being the little tiny testicle man he is, says, maybe not a good idea because Katie really mad at me. And yeah, at this point, not a good idea. I shouldn't have done that. I should have like asked someone else or nobody to go because Katie gonna get mad. She's like, really, Schwartz? Really? And then she was like, well, she's my boss friend, so let me text her. Dear Christina Kelly, can my other boss friend, Rachel Raquel, come to your party? I text her. Oh my God, I got a text back. She said yes. And then Tom Sandy Butt frickin' stands up, you guys, and kicks his leg in the air. He kicks his leg like freaking an Elvis impersonator past his prime. He's like, yes, yes, bro. I'm thinking, Ariana, what is your man doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? He's like, yes, yes, yes. Bro, are you seriously cheering for your mistress to go to a product placement party for spray toners? Is that what we're doing at 81 years old? Is that what we're doing? Is that how we're spending our golden years? Our piss years? Is that what we're doing? Yes! 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 He started Arsenio Halling. Rachel Raquel was like, I don't even know who Arsenio Hall is. I'm too young. And he was like, he was my favorite in my 30s. It was so... He couldn't control himself. That's what I'm telling you. It's something is going on. I don't care what anybody says. Something is going on. This man was cuckoo bananas looking back, but the energy is steroidal, angry Adderall. It's something. Something's, I'm telling you. I'm still going with Addies because it's LA. And when I used to take Addies, they would make me, and I threw a wee through my closet door. I've told you guys that story many times. And I don't know why. My husband was like, what happened? I'm like, I threw the wee through the door. You were gone. I just got upset. It's just like, just so ragey. So ragey. All right. So now she can go to the chapstick party. And Tom Sandybus is like, yes! It's like he finally opened up Sharts and Skeezies. A wee. I wasn't even using the wee. The wee was just there. And I threw it through the closet door. That's the angry Adderall vibes. All right. So now she gets to go to the party. And this is when we see Tom Sandybutt talk about Katie. God, it's like Katie Maloney thinks she can like tell people what to do. You know, because she's going to be there. Like Rachel Raquel can't be there. Like my mistress can't go. It's like, Katie, you're such a bitch. Such a dumb bitch. You know? It's like, who are you, Katie? You're not even someone I want to bang. So I don't even care about you. Oh, I hated it. I hated every minute of, of this. Maybe I've never done Molly, but I thought you were supposed to like rub on people and put Vaseline on your face and sit in front of a fan when you're on Molly, or like hump. It's a rage-a-thon. This dude is raging out. He is like hulking out. And now I've seen pictures of him recently and he just looks like an ad for Ozempic. You know, I'm like the dangers. Don't do it or you could look like this man. Because previously we had him like this. Okay. Previously, this is Tom Sandybutt in all his glory. Just trumpeting. Maybe I'll make it bigger screen so you guys can enjoy it. You know, really, really, oops, I took him out. Really enjoy it. Okay, let's see. Here he is. Just, here I am in my little underpants. Cut to most recently. Let me see if I have the picture of him I want to pull up. Might be in. I have way too many Vanderpump screenshots. It's sick. Then we see him. Now he's a little more like this. And it's like, huh? Okay. And then most recently he was spotted. I wonder if I have this picture with Billy Lee. And this was him. I'm thinking, who this? So this guy, who's he? Do you know him? He must go to another school because I don't know him. He goes to another school. So I don't know. Fake Fake world. I don't know. What's up? So you were just a little guy with a trumpet. And a hi, Tilly. And then, so let's go back. Let's find Trumpet Man. Da, 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 da. Okay, we got to pull him back up. Let's find this man. So this is what we have today. But previously, on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we had this. I mean, that's a drastic change, right? Am I reading too much? I just look at this and I think that's pretty drastic going from that. And does he have, oh no, that's Plant. I was like, does he have a penis tattoo, like an over the penis tattoo? And then he turned into this. I mean, so you got that guy. Hey, dum diddly dum. And then him and Billy Lee. What's happening? He's wearing a waist trainer? Is that a waist trainer, sir? It's very drastic. It's too drastic. It's crazy. It's that cover band life. Currently on tour. Oh, Lordy. So then we go back to, now it's nighttime at the glamping. Rachel Raquel brought her stargazer light, stargazers in flight for evening delight. And her star machine is pumping. They're in one of the go-gurts. And they're all probably, got a little bit of Molly, right? That's when you take the Molly. And the galaxy lights are going. And the DJ music is pumping. Starlight, star bright. First stick I see tonight. Wish I may, probably might. Do it with your man tonight. I mean, that is like what's happening here. So they're partying in the freaking go-gurt. And Rachel Raquel starts crying again. And I'm like, oh, for the love of freaking techno, what in the hell is going on with this chick? I mean, this is worse than me 3 days before my period, before my menses. She's just, I'm 28, girl. She's got her vintage glasses on from Tom's. And then he leans over and she's laying in a bed. Ariana's across from her. Sheena's there just like thinking about shenanigans. Brock is like lifting the go-gurt, getting more muscle. Schwartz is peeing on something. And he says, I love you, Rachel. I'm done. I am done. His exact word. They hug. Ariana's right there. I love you, Rachel. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, my God. It's too much. It's too, maybe. This is like a big, maybe this season is just a big advertisement for Dare. They're bringing Dare back. Drug abuse, Rachel Raquel education. It is. But I mean, this woman has cried so much. Like, it's her party and she'll cry if she wants to. And she freaking wants to. So we have her crying. But then as we see in the sneak peek for the season finale, for the trailer, after they were caught, she's seen with her stargazer light again, and she's laughing. And she's like, oh, we really fucked this up. But then you tell her she can't be in pageants, and she's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. She's like an Enya song. She's just so depressing. Okay, so he hugs her, and he said, I love you, Raquel, and they hold each other way too long. It's way too long. And then they all start dancing again. And the Molly kicks back in and they're like, touch my face and touch my body. My vagina is ready. It's crazy. The next day they're all there. Sheena and Brock are like, we got to go. We have a baby. And then we see Katie's cute mom. Katie's mom is the cutest. And Katie's mom's like, I like your apartment. It's very cozy. And Katie has decorated her apartment very cutely. And then her mom says, I can't believe how full circle this is. You went from working for me in a restaurant, and now I am going to work for you. So I guess Katie's mom is going to work at something about her sandwich shop. And I didn't know that. So that's kind of cute and exciting. I wouldn't be surprised if Lala's mom did too. Then we see Lala and her mom are hiking, and they're talking about sexy stuff, and her and the Don getting it on. She's like, me and the Don get it on. And Lala's mom seems to be playing a bigger role than I've ever seen her play on this show previously, but I'm sure, with the grandkid now, and, for little Ocean being born, grandma wants to be around all of the time. Then we go to James and Allie's apartment. I'll just put Lala back up on screen here. James and Allie's apartment, and their cat, their sweet little kitty. He or she, I forget its name. It looks like my friend's cat named Mountain Goat. So I'll just call her Little Mountain Goat. Has a cone on her head, and she gets her cone taken off. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And then James and Allie talk about, is James really over Rachel Raquel? And there's obviously anger there, James. And what I love about Allie is she just calls James out on stuff. And I do think he needs that kind of woman. I don't know if him and Allie are, as the kids say, endgame, but closer to what he probably needs. I don't know if he's close to what she needs, but she is close to what he needs. So she calls him out, and she's like, you just made yourself look stupid. So I do like that about Allie. James is just like, no, I just wish Schwartz and Rachel Raquel would be honest about it if they want to date. I'm not angry about it at all. But I'm like, I mean, you're a little angry about it. And Allie said she's going to sit out the next beach day. And he said, well, then I'm sitting out too. Then we go to Christina's event, and that's when everything goes down. She's just like spraying herself. I love those spray like toners, or those. I don't know when these things came about, but they have them at Trader Joe's. I think the first one I ever tried was like a rose hips and vaginismus or something. And you spray your face, and then I just thought, well, I always need that. I always need those things. So at this event, multiple things happen. Tom Schwartz comes in contact again with Katie Maloney. Katie's like, you're not my friend. I don't know him. He takes a drink order, and he sees Katie's mom, and Katie's mom has, soft thoughts, soft feelings for Schwartz because he was a part of their family, but Katie's like, I'm not having it. He's like, Katie's giving me the cold shoulder. I don't really get it. I don't know, Schwartz, because you completely disrespected her. And the small request she had for you to respect her post-divorce, for you guys to be able to remain friends, for you guys to respect each other, was to not date in the friend group. And then you did that. And not because you were actually really interested in Rachel Raquel, but it seemed more because you were just doing, again, what Tom Sandybutt told you to do. Lala indicates to them that she used to look at Rachel Raquel like she was innocent and nice. And now she looks at her like a stupid, dumb, stupid face demon. And they also point out that the dynamic with Rachel Raquel showing up with Tom Sandybutt and Ariana everywhere is cuckoo. And it's very strange. And Lala feels like she's on acid. And everyone is far too complimentary for Schwartz wearing a blazer. It's just a blazer and a button-up shirt. And then Rachel Raquel has the nerve to walk over to not only Katie, but Katie's mom and say hi with her thong hanging out. Ma'am, not only Katie, but her mom basically begged you when you were at dinner in Las Vegas and explained to you how much it hurt Katie and how not everyone's not seeing the full effect and hurt of the dissolution of her marriage to Tom Schwartz, but that it's painful. And you have the division of the dogs, the custody of the dogs, the home, their whole world is changing. He was part of their family. Like it or not, he was. And so she would just like a little bit of respect. And even the mom's trying to explain, Katie is, she might look like she has a, crunchy outward shell, but she's actually soft and gooey on the inside, and she's hurt. And I'm hurt, and we're all hurt. So if you could just respect her as her friend and being here now on a girls' night or a girls' trip, and not try to bang her ex while they're going through a divorce, that'd be great. And Rachel Raquel was like, cool. And then didn't do that. And instead did the opposite and did exactly what they begged her not to do. And she has the nerve to be like, hey, Pam, or whatever. I forget Katie's mom's name, but she's super cute. But like, hey, Katie's mom. Hi, Katie. And this is that nice nastiness, the same as Tom Schwartz that she has, where she does this shit on purpose. Either that or she's completely void of social cues. To go up to Katie and her mom, be like, hey, after the interaction you have with, just leave him alone. Leave him alone. Give him distance. But she's never shown her respect, so why would she start now? And Katie's like, hey. Oh my goodness. Not with her mom. Even her mom asked you. Thank you, Gigi, for the super chat. Tom with the headband and weight trainer is completely poorly emulating Ariana's hunky man, right? Oh my gosh. Ariana has been with her man, her new guy, and they were in New York and they were at a Yankees game. And she was like featured or something at the Yankees game as like a special guest and on their social media. And they had them on the big cam. And they've been in New York frolicking and kissing. But Katie's new dude is riptide. Like he's ripped. And not in a creepy veiny way like Sandy Butt. No offense. All offense. But in like a very attractive way. And I'm sure Sandy Butt doesn't like that. Yes, toner spritzers. So they're toner spritzing. Rachel Raquel has her whole thong hanging out like we talked about earlier. And then Tom's making drinks, but only certain drinks because he doesn't want to do a lot of work because he's lazy. Okay. And like I said, Lala's like, I feel like Rachel Raquel is stealing my soul. She's like a very stupid demon. Then first, Katie talks to Ariana. They have a conversation. Katie's like, or Ariana's like, can I talk to you, Katie? That we need to talk about this whole open relationship stuff, what you said, what you didn't say. And Katie's like, I definitely didn't say you had an open relationship. I don't remember saying any of these words that are now being thrown around that I said, but I most certainly said you didn't have a lot of rules in your relationship, or you had different rules, but I didn't say these things. And this is where Ariana, God love her, is so far into the trust circle with Sandy Butt and Rachel Raquel that she's just like, I trust Tom. I love my boyfriend. Obviously, I love Raquel dearly. And I just don't see her doing something like this. I mean, she's one of my closest friends. So I trust those two together. And I hope that, you and I are starting a business together. I hope that you wouldn't be putting out these false rumors and saying that we have an open relationship, Katie. In this moment, I had hoped she had said or would have said that I love you, Katie. But she said, I love Rachel Raquel and I love my boyfriend. And not only do I trust and love Rachel Raquel, but I trust and love my boyfriend. And I'm just like, I can't take this pain anymore. This is hitting me. Sorry, I probably did say Katie, but I meant Ariana. This is hitting me like a freight train. Okay. Katie said that the rules did not say the rules comment. Okay. Well, so whatever Katie said has now been lost in translation, and everyone thinks it is now Katie said they had an open relationship. Okay. And it's just heartbreaking to see Ariana fully stand up for Rachel Raquel and Tom Sandy, but knowing that they are so blatantly and so disgustingly disrespecting her behind her back. And Katie is just telling Ariana, okay, you may love them, but I find it hard to believe that someone like Rachel Raquel could be so cruel to some people and so disrespectful, and then so nice and so great and so perfect to others. So I think it was almost like Katie saying, I'm warning you. take a look. Something's going on. Take a look. It's in a book. Read the shit out of Rachel Raquel because she's not what you think she is. But okay. Okay, fine. I know why. What you know what I think after Satchel had to go sit through. Sam says, "Why wasn't Satch at Christina's party?" I think after he had to sit through the last party, I think Katie was like, "You don't have to come to this," because she knew that this party was going to have a lot of drama for your mama with the taping and filming and all that stuff. Okay. So yeah, Katie was very kind about it. She was very gentle, just like, I care about you. Her and Ariana seemed to make peace there. But Katie would, she's just like, I know she's a good friend to you. So you think she is, but I feel like it's a personality thing with Rachel Raquel. It's a character thing, and I have a hard time believing that she's a shitty ass person to me, but a super good friend to others. And Ariana was very kind in that moment to say, I understand that you might feel that way, but I don't. Okay. And I don't want to be dragged into something just because you don't like Rachel Raquel. And they both said, I get it. They both said, Katie said she was sorry. And I'm just like, oh, this scene hurt my heart because these two women who are working together, have a business together, are killing it with something about her, have always seemed to, even when Tom Sandy Butt was so anti-Katie, Ariana would be like an advocate for Katie, especially in the last couple seasons. And I found that to be like really beautiful about their relationship because despite these dumbass dudes getting in the way, these two women were always like, no, you can't put that all on Katie, or no, they could separate the dudes from each other. They weren't defined necessarily by their men, and they didn't define each other by the men they were with. So I like that about them. And then seeing this Rachel thing come so far between them and them being on completely different sides, and seeing Ariana ride so hard for Rachel Raquel. I just don't think Rachel Raquel has done enough to deserve this. But I do think that everybody looked at her through wounded eyes. They looked at her, or I should say, they looked at her as wounded. They looked at her as this, Bambi-eyed bitch who was bullied by Lala. And so they wanted to be Captain Save a Bambi-eyed bitch. And in the process of that, she was able to infiltrate and cause wreak a lot of havoc along with Tom Sandy Butt, because they are 50-50 responsible for this affair. Christine, thank you so much for the super chat, says it was rough hearing Ariana go to bat for Rachel. It really was rough. It was so rough. I hated it. But again, Katie and Ariana had a more mature conversation, which they usually do with each other, than Tom has ever had with either of them. And Ariana did say something, or Katie did say, and I don't think you have an open relationship, because I do know that you're insecure. And I think she meant that because Ariana in the past has been open about, being with a guy before who put her down for her looks and stuff. So there's a lot of insecurities that came from that relationship. But in the end, they're like, I love you. I'm glad we talked. We're both here for each other, but they're definitely on different sides of the Rachel thing. Then Rachel Raquel has to talk to James Kennedy. So James Kennedy comes over to talk to Rachel Raquel. She's dressed in all black like the Omen. We got to play that little clip because, again, it is Hot Topic City.
Dressed in all black like the Omen.
Dressed in all black like the Omen. Oh my goodness.
Dressed in all black like the Omen.
It's the truth. All right. And she puts her purse down and James is like, nice purse. And she goes, you bought it for me. Oh, I did? Sorry. Don't remember much. And he's like fixing his hair in his phone and she rolls her eyes. And I'm thinking, girl, I don't know why you're rolling your eyes, because Tom Sandy Butt is worse than James Kennedy when it comes to the primping. So who you're having an affair with currently and who you are now in a relationship with, even though you're allegedly at the mental facility and he is out partying and making friendship bracelets and on tour with his karaoke band and his drummer, Jason. Okay. All right, girl. So her and James are talking and she's like, I wish you wouldn't have said that, like regret them. But you shouldn't have regrets in life, James. So she's trying to, again, Tom Sandy Butt and Rachel Raquel are trying to give people life lessons, like shitty inspirational quotes. You should just live, laugh, love. I know I am while I'm having an affair with one of my best friend's boyfriends. You should just not be so like angry. And James is like, I'm not angry. I'm not anything. I do. He has this like moment where he is talking about when he said that he regretted his engagement. He's like, it was a wonderful engagement, but I regret that I wasted it on you. He's like, it was epic, but I regret that I wasted that whole shit on you. Yeah, James is done. James is basically, he laid it out for her. He said, I don't know you. I don't know you anymore. Who you are isn't the person I knew. And that had to kill Raquel because she, at this point, she so selfishly wants Schwartz to want her. She wants this affair with Scandoval. And she wants James to still feel sad about their relationship. She wants all the dudes, all the men's have to be lusting for her. And I'm like, Rachel, that is too much. You can't handle, even with that tong to tong tong tong, you cannot handle that. You like it when the beat goes, but baby, it'll make your booty go. Oh, it's too much. It's too much for your booty. Oh my God, jump scare every time. If I have to see a thong, we all have to experience a thong together, Sharni. We have to. Right? Sandy Butt saying, you have to love people like for who they are and not like what you want them to be. Okay, Katie? And Katie's like, whatever, bitch, get a life. I love it. Mims is in the house. Mims says Raquel is the embodiment of a blow up with less personality. I mean, what do you think about this? Tongue, 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 tongue. The whale tail. Dressed in all black like the whale tail omen. Seriously. I know. I wish I never loved you. We will see that coming up in the finale. So she continues talking to James. But James just lays it out. I'm sure you're doing fine, but I don't know you anymore, love. I don't know you much, babes. Don't really know who you are. And she's like, oh, I feel so bad for you, James. Because I don't regret anything except for maybe the fact that this tongue is so far up my anus. I don't know. That's it. So after they have their talk and James basically just puts it all out there. You're not the girl I remember. I do not know who you are as a person. I don't remember any of this. I'm going to check my hair on my phone. You have a good life. Good luck to you in your career at Hot Topic and all this mesh stuff. I hope your bunghole is able to heal from the damage you've done to it with these tongs and you don't get a yeaster for Easter with the high cuts of your swimsuits. Have a great day. Then we see the scene of all scenes, which was so just nothing short of cringe-tastic. So the final scene we see in this episode is Lala. I need to talk to Ariana. And she goes to Ariana and they bring up the Labor Day party, the one that Sandy Butt was at. And Lala was there and she was next to Sandy Butt. And she said, you know, Sandy Butt said, you called him because your grandma passed away. And he said he couldn't get a ride home. He couldn't get an Uber. But Jason, the drummer, the guy that his wife works for Howie Mandel. That's why Howie Mandel gave him that softball interview where he didn't ask him any questions and instead made excuses for him and said he was a mental health advocate. He left. And Sandy Butt was right there. And he could have left with Jason. But instead he stayed and hung out. Even though you needed him. And Ariana's like, no, he said Jason left. Come over. I'm not doing this. Tom, bring your guy liner over here right now. Can you button up one of your shirts? Your tits are showing. Tom, you and your tits, get over here. Tom's like, oh, what's up? Yeah, what's up, dude? What's up? What's going on? Huh? She's like, Tom, what did you tell me? Why you couldn't come home when I needed you? When my grandma died? He was like, I couldn't get a ride. And Lala's like, no, Tom, I was sitting right next to you. Jason left. And you stayed. You chose to stay for hours and party. Even though Ariana wanted you home. And you told her that you couldn't get a ride? And he's like, huh? What? No, what? Boo. Dude, are you sure you were there? You were there? Okay. Oh God, you're emotional, right, Lala? He looked dumbfounded, and Ariana is asking him, well, Tom, you said that you didn't see Jason leave. And Lala's like, he did see Jason leave. I was standing right next to him when Jason left. And Ariana said, but Tom, you said that, okay, honey, listen, I don't need to know this, but Lala needs to know this. And Lala's like, no. I don't really need to know this. I just want you to know, Ariana, that you can ask for what you want and get what you want in this relationship. And that, to me, that kind of gives me chills. And I don't want to be too melodramatic here, but I had a friend doing something similar to what Lala was doing, who would try to wake me up when I was with a narcissistic, cheating, like butthole. And I just was like, not seeing the signs or choosing not to, or whatever was happening at that time in my life. And looking back, she gave me so many outs and did things like this. Like, this is what a good friend does. Say, you can ask for that and you can expect your partner to give you that. And it was almost like Ariana was just like, oh, she just took a long swig of her wine. And I felt for Ariana in that moment, because I think when you're in that toxic of a relationship, you forget that your needs and what you want are important and should take priority, and that you should have a partner you can communicate with and say, no, this isn't working for me. I need you. You need to be with me now, because what's the point of having a relationship if they're only there for the fun and the cocaine and the Molly? What about when the grandparents die? The dog dies. The jobs get lost. You have a bad day. You got cramps, So when Lala said this, I was like, oh my gosh, it was a lot of maturity. It really was. And I think sobriety, obviously, what she's went through with Randall, motherhood has really, I know there's a lot of people who, and I myself in the past, have not wanted to give Lala her flowers, because there's certain things where I was just, to me, I'm just like, I saw right through Randall, but I have to remember, I'm obviously older than Lala. I've been through this before. She was young. She wasn't sober. There's all these things. And there's growth that has happened with Lala. And in this moment, I could see it. And it was really actually like beautiful to see her just, without embarrassing Ariana, be like, no, hun, like you deserve that. You can ask him for that. And he's just like, God, these bitches like team up and they fucking ruin everything. I can't even cheat on a hoe no more. Right? It's like, it's very beautiful to see. Thank you, Kenya. OMG, girl, where have you been my whole life? I'm over here crying, laughing. No need to wonder for me. I subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, big girl pants for Lala. So that was really, you see how the Toms have just devolved, and you've seen the women like Katie and Lala who have had their problematic past. They have really evolved, where the Toms have just, like I said, continued to devolve, and it's been horrible. So Ariana's asking, hey, are you sure you didn't see Jason leave? And he's like, I don't think so. Like, God, you guys are asking me so many questions. It's like really hard. Look at my tits. And Lala's like, Tom, I was standing right there with you and Jason when Jason left, and you didn't go. And then Ariana says, well, you said you didn't see Jason go. You said you were taking a shit. We are almost through this recap and roast. And this part, I was watching it last night, and my husband was standing next to me as I was watching it. And he's like, are you going to go live? Are you going to go live? And it was too late because I have to watch it on West Coast time now. And I said, no, but I want to go live so bad. The fact that this man used taking a shit as an excuse I mean, on brand. A shitty person taking a shit. But he told his girlfriend he didn't have a ride, even though his best friend, drummer, manager of his karaoke band could have driven him home, but he didn't know he left because he was taking a shit at a party. This man is 97 years old, okay? He is a part of the greatest generation, but there is nothing great about him. There is nothing great about Tom Sandy Butt. He lived through the Great Depression, yet he only makes us depressed. You know? The stock market crash, yet all that's crashing is any hope I have in men named Tom on Bravo. Wow. It was, he's had a lot of excuses for things, but literally taking a dump as he takes a dump on his relationship, very metaphoric, I guess, just horrendous. And even in this moment, coming back to you have some shit on your face, Tom. Not only did Raquel so intimately point out shit on his face, Ariana now leans in and wipes shit off the bottom lip underneath his creepy mustache. And I'm thinking, what is it, Tom? Is it angry addies? Is it a little appetizer? A little crudité? What is it called? Crudité? I'm thinking of the coup d'etat. That's not it. That's not a food. That's something that happens and also happened on Big Brother. Was it a little Coca-Cola Classic? What was it, Tom? So all these women are cleaning up this man who literally is a pile of dog shit standing in front of us, lying, cheating, stealing people's hopes, dreams, and trust, while with his tits out. I'm going to slut shame him. He's got his tits out for the boys. I said tits out for the boys, just walking around asking for it, as they like to tell us ladies we are, with his creepy stash. And it's just another lifelong lesson is like, we need to quit telling women that it's our job to clean up these dirty men. Go take a shower. Go get some therapy. Because even now, as I said, in this situation, Raquel's allegedly in therapy, cleaning up the mess. And what's he doing? Making more messes. Talking too much. Doing rock climbing. Doing ropes courses. Trust exercises by himself. Going on tour with his karaoke band. And the women are left to clean up the mess. Leave filthy men in their filthy messes. Let them learn to wipe their own asses. A walking dare commercial if I've ever seen one. Seriously. Call Officer Kavalowski, that was my dare officer, and tell the story of Tom Sandoval, and I will never do Molly, Addie, Cocaine, none of it ever again, allegedly. Okay? Because that's the whole reason I never did LSD or PCP. Because Officer Kavalowski said, you do PCP? Go ahead. I saw a guy chew off his own fingertips one time. Have fun. And I was like, okay, never doing that. LSD? You want to do LSD? Well, then you think you could fly. I saw a guy jump off a building. Thought he had wings. He didn't. Dead. Hit the sidewalk. And I never did LSD or PCP. So you need those very vivid descriptions for kids. And I think seeing Tom Sandoval, they'll go, what did he do? I'm going to even go old school and write this down shorthand with a pen. Now you're going to use my phone. Tell me more, sir. Okay. I'm going to make sure I never do these things. I'm going to put it on my Twitcher. For sure. This guy. This is your brain on Tom. Any questions? So Tom is like, he basically doesn't have to answer for his crimes. He's just like, I thought I was taking a shit, but maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was just, I don't know. Was I? He's just like, I know. Yeah. I said I was taking a shit. I don't remember. I can't remember everything. God, you women, you ask for too much. God. And then Ariana's like, you realize you put me in a position where people think I'm an effing idiot. And I do think that's one of Ariana's fears, because that is your fear as a woman, especially when you come off as like the cool, evolved, progressive girl who trusts her man. And we don't need those like classic rules of like, I don't need to tell him that he respects me. He loves me. We don't, I trust that he's out there and he'll come home to me. He loves me, because these kind of guys make you feel like you are. Oh, I wouldn't leave you. I love you. You're great. You're all the things. Because all the while he's cheating with Raquel, he's still going back to Ariana. And we're going to see this in the next episode, saying, I just want to be closer to you, dude. I just want to like be intimate with you. And she's like, I can't have sex with a stranger. I can't do that. I'm not just supposed to like open up my legs, open up my baby door and say, come on in. When you're not home, you're not making time for me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not your personal sex machine. I need more. Oh. And it is, so she's afraid that she's going to look stupid. And unfortunately, there were warning signs, but she was young. And now they've been together almost a decade. And she thinks they've established things. She thinks, he's not going to do that to her. They have a mature relationship. They have a home together. But we all know now, he's the same Tom he was in the early days of Vanderpumprules. And then Ariana has a very sad moment, a very sad interview where she says, I ride or die for Tom. I believe Tom 100%. I love Tom. I am Tom's biggest stan. I'm like his number one stan when he's not mine. And I'm like, ugh. Ariana, I've been there, girl. I've been there. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And it is, so we're seeing this slow awakening, which probably all of this led up to ultimately her to finally see the phone, allegedly, like Kristen Doty said on Watch What Happens Live. Made her look at the phone, made her start questioning more than she has previously. And also, I think once so many people are talking about it, it's hard to, your fear is to look dumb, to look naive, to be played, to be humiliated. Not only in your friend group, but on like national television. But once that many eyes are on it, I think it really makes you start thinking and going, all right, I need to make a decision. I remember checking my boyfriend's email. He left it open. He never left it open. I never checked stuff because I thought, I'm not that girl. I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be in a relationship where I check people's texts and things. But he left his email open, and I called him, and he was outside about to take the city bus to school. I think he was back in school at that time. And I called him before I looked, and I said, you left your email open? And he was right downstairs of our apartment in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I said, I'm going to check it. I called him to tell him I was going to check because I was so scared. Because I knew that once you look, you're in that deep and you look and you've built a life with someone, if you find what you fear you're going to find, your whole life changes. Sometimes it feels like it's easier to just live in the lie. And that sounds sick. And that's something we've heard Tom Sandoval say before. And I told this man, I'm going to look. And all I heard was him go, no, Joleen, don't. And I heard him running back to our apartment. We had a chain lock and then a deadbolt. I locked the chain and I looked and I found exactly what I thought I would find. All the evidence I needed that he was a cheater, pumpkin eater. And my life forever changed for the better. But I had to come to terms that I had to look. I had to open my eyes and I had to look. I had to see what was right in front of me, see what people had warned me, see what I didn't want to see. And I saw it right there in front of me. And that was the worst thing and the best thing that's ever happened to me, because it was heartbreaking and you're just so scared, because I'm like I'm in my late 20s. All my friends are married. They're having kids. They're back in the Midwest. I moved across the country with a guy. I'm living in Arizona. I have new friends. I've only been there a couple years. And now I'm going to have to get a new apartment, a new friend group, what am I going to do? I've only known this man most of my 20s. We've dated since I was like 22, 23 years old. And now I'm almost 30 and I wasted all this time. And in my head, now I'm 43 and I'm like, who cares, but at that time you think, oh my God, I could have done. I should be having children. I should be married. I should be working toward a home. And here I sit in this apartment reading the email of a man who has betrayed me with a lady named Valerie at Scottsdale Community College. And I'm like, what the fuck? But then, hindsight, you're like, oh, no, it's so much better, but you just, it's that leap of like, I have to change everything. And I was terrified to change everything. And I felt like a failure. I came from an area where a lot of my friends stayed with their high school sweetheart. My parents are high school sweethearts. I mean, that's how it was. And here I am about to turn 30, a new stand-up comedian. And now my life starts over. But in that time, my life starting over, I was able to find my true passion or get further into it, which is stand-up comedy, meet my husband. I stayed in Arizona. I said, you're not kicking me out of there. I had friends that rallied around me. I made new friends. And, the rest is history. Met my husband, ultimately moved to California, which was always my dream. And the only thing that held me back was that person. So, yeah. It took you, I think there's a lot of people that can see. So people ask, like, what's the big deal? What's the big freaking deal with Scandoval? Why are people? It's because so many people have either dealt with, they've been cheated on, they've cheated themselves, they've dealt with dating or being married to narcissists, people that have gaslit them, lied to them. So it hits so many people, and it triggers your own feelings and your own story. And it's something that like transcends age, race, religion, politics. You'll see people on all sides of the political spectrum, all sides of the socioeconomic spectrum, all sides of everything say, fuck that guy. And F Rachel too, because either it's happened to us or it's happened to someone we love. And so that is why this is such a big story. This isn't just somebody cheated, one celebrity cheated on another. This is a story you've been following for 10 years of a couple and a show, and you're watching in real time this guy do all the things that narcissistic gaslighting a-holes do, and it's getting called out. So, and within a friend group. Oh, right. And it makes it worse that they don't even pretend to be sorry. They go on the defense and they try to blame the victims of their crimes. It's like Damian Rice, 9 Crimes. Which reminds me of that song. It's the wrong time with somebody new. I forget the words. Is that all right? I don't know. Go find Damian Rice, 9 Crimes. That is like a song about cheating. It's just dark. It's dark like this show, but it's a very good song. But it is, I mean, I'm telling you, it hits a lot of us. And it's also, unfortunately, it's also entertaining. I mean, not entertaining watching someone's heart get broken, but just watching, like, it's like a case of sociology and psychology. You're like, how are these people navigating in this friend group as if nothing is happening while they are having this huge deceptive affair right underneath their noses? It's sick. It is sick. So that's where the episode ends. We are so close to the finale. And I mean, next week's episode is going to be crazy with Tom Sandybutt wearing a giant headband and crying over not getting enough sex from Ariana while he's sexing Rachel Raquel. So when do you have time to lay the pipe, Tom? Your pipe's probably tired. Plus, you're very elderly. You're 107 years old. And I don't know a lot of 107-year-olds. They're able to get it up that much, but maybe there's Viagra going on. Who knows? Does Molly get you hard? I don't know. I'm not that cool. I couldn't exist in the friend group either. It is a very toxic friend group. I think the reality show adds to it. And also, if you've ever worked in a restaurant and for a long period of time, it's very incestuous. It's very incestuous. That's where I met my cheater ex, was in a restaurant, and he had dated, or I should say hooked up with like a friend of mine, because you're all within that restaurant together. And that should have been a red flag to me too before we started dating. And I didn't want to date him because I was like, ew. Oh, yes, right. There's so many sociological angles to this. And you're just studying these people like, what the fudge? And it's not 20-somethings anymore. These are 40-some-year-old men or 115-year-old men like Tom Sandybutt with their tits out. Oh my gosh. So, yes, restaurant culture is cuckoo. It's very interesting. So, there you have it, you guys. We did it in under 3 hours. We got through this episode. This by far has been the best episode of the season, the cringiest, the most triggering, all of the things, but we did it. There was also moments. Oh, the funniest one, the funniest little screenshot was James Kennedy in the back trying to like get all the tea. He was just like in the back of this conversation with Lala and Ariana and Tom Sandybutt. And I thought I had a screen grab of that, but now I don't know if I can find it. But that was one of my favorite little things is James in the back trying to listen to what was happening as they were confronting Tom. But of course, oh wait, I think I found it. No, here it is. James is like biting his thumbnail and listening in the back as Tom is like, no, I think I was taking a shit. Maybe I wasn't taking a shit. Maybe I was taking the other Tom's shit. I don't know, but I was doing something. Yes, so juicy, so cringy, so made for reality TV. And that's that about that, you guys. Like Christina's saying, don't forget to hit the like on your way out. I'll be back very soon with another video about Vanderpump Rules, other Bravo news. We have Big Brother starting soon. They're already starting to put out ads for it. So I don't know if that is any indication of anything, but we'll see. If you're new to this channel, I do cover Big Brother as well as a lot of other Bravo shows. We just get into it. We definitely get into it. But thank you all so much for joining me as I knock myself out. Okay, I'm back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for all your comments. Sorry I can't get to all the comments in the live chat, but you're all amazing. Shout out to my mods for keeping control of the chat, even though I know you all are on your best, most respectful, fun, hilarious behavior. And smash the like, leave a comment after the video post because I didn't get to see everyone's comments and I like to hear from you guys. It also helps me with the algorithm. I'm not going to lie. Welcome to all my new members. I'll be back tomorrow or Saturday with an exclusive Night Pants with Nana for my members and Patreon supporters. And remember, always, you guys, to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Follow me on social media too. Bye.